Hello, everyone. Welcome
Pizza
to the Blowout
broken.
Podcast. My tea just finished.
Your tea. Go get your tea, man.
No, that's our podcast live timer.
Yay!
Meep, meep. Welcome, everybody, to the Blind Wave Podcast.
Indeed.
We are here every
hi.
Thursday live at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, unless we have failures of some sort, in which case we didn't. We're good. We're here.
No audio problem?
I think everything's good. I can't hear anyone, so I don't know. I'm going to assume it's good until chat goes,
Yeah.
why does this not work? And then I'll just say, Rick, you did it. But welcome. How is everybody doing?
So good. So cold.
So
Sorry.
good. I got you. Wow, 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 wow. You doing okay, Calvin?
It's been a long, busy week for
Yeah.
me again. I got rid of the two kitties
I still got mine.
that we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still
Um,
got mine.
My mom was gonna take one, and my sister was gonna take one, but
Mhm.
my sister is having actually quite a bit of work done to her house, so it's
Mm.
a complete mess and like drywall dust everywhere, and just not a good place for a little kitty. So mom decided
Okay.
to take both of them.
Oh,
Gotcha.
both.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So that worked out well, and she's fully enamored by them now. And they're
They still have doggies?
nope,
Or
no, they
nuggies?
don't have doggies anymore. They
Okay.
have they have another big male cat. I think he's like
Mhm.
4 or 5 years old, maybe, and then a little female as well.
Dude, we've been like
So
a
that's been
cat
good.
rescue operation here at Blind
I
Wave
was
the
gonna
last
say,
2 weeks.
I got rid of those two,
We got rid of those two.
but now I have two more that were also back there.
Yeah.
They weren't in the stream, but they have a severe upper respiratory infection.
Calvin, just
and
say their eyeballs ugly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
their
I was
eyeballs
out.
are
I was out back, and
very
this little
sticky and-
orange kitten would just keep like walking up to me, and it'd look at me, and its eyes were just like completely red, bloodshot, and puffy, and it'd have this weak like, ew. And I'm like, man, what's wrong? You know, but we were like, we gotta do something. We gotta take this cat to a vet. I mean,
Yeah.
they're feral cats, but this feral kitten, which I mean, I grew up on a farm. Feral cats do not come up to you. This cat would just come up to me and be like, fucking help, you know, is what I heard in my head.
That's what you heard.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
ended
yeah.
up catching it and taking it to the vet, and
Oh,
it stayed over to the weekend.
You always catch them on Thursdays when the vet is closed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
that happened last week, and it stayed over the weekend, and it got some nebulizer therapy, getting
little older,
taking
too.
care of some of that upper respiratory infection.
Yeah.
But yeah, just yesterday we rescued another little gray tabby, and
Yeah.
he seems to be in better condition right now, but he's got a really, really bad eye infection. He
Mhm.
might lose the eye. But we're
Yep.
we're trying
So
to
it's
get him into
been-
the vet. But of course, Thursday that's closed, so I'll have to get him in tomorrow morning.
So who knows next week what Operation Cat Rescue will be like.
Yeah, I know. We're
Maybe
gonna
we'll
have
catch
to
more.
rebrand
I haven't been a part of this.
I know you have.
Kitty Wave. We'll just have a picture of a kitten dangling into the water, hanging onto a branch,
Mm.
wave splashing over it. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Aaron?
Why? I saw James be like, they're not ugly. I said, their eyeball. If you're saying that, oh, look at that cute little eyeball. Eyeball's messed up.
That's what I meant too. Look at their eyeballs and how cute they are.
Their eyeballs are just, they got stuff. All goofed up.
No, yeah.
Nothing
our
good.
spare room upstairs is like a humane society right now. We have them in. We actually went to Walmart and we got like dog kennels, like wire kennels and stuff, so we can keep them separated so they don't transfer.
You're
back,
saying
like
you've
any kind of infection. or
Categorize
whatever.
them.
Huh?
Nice.
What?
It's not worth
Don't tell
saying
him.
twice.
Don't tell him.
Did you say categorize?
Maybe.
Fuck you.
I liked it. I thought it was good. Funny.
So yeah, we've been caring for him and giving him treatments and stuff. But the one is this last one we got is very, very skinny. Like we can feel every
Mhm.
single bone in his body. So he's been chomping down on some wet cat food.
The good news is I haven't seen any other kittens back there.
Oh yeah, I think
There's still some healthy cats.
there's some adult cats back there that
They need caught and fixed.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. they really do. We have a live trap, and I'm gonna get it up and running so we can try to curb some of this for next cat season. Because I don't think there's been this many kittens back there.
Have we called Bob Barker yet?
I mean,
Well,
I get that reference.
doesn't
I get the reference, but
he says for your pets? These aren't our pets. They're just out and around
You're right.
places.
Yeah. It's a thing all over the country, though, is cats, and they can, like, decimate bird populations and other, they can mess up ecosystems. They can be so many.
well, yeah, isn't that what they say? Like, a cat is like the equivalent to a hurricane to like a local ecology or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Because they eat everything. They eat mice and sometimes rats, bugs, birds, everything.
Like, if they were just a little bit bigger, they'd fuck you up. And we have bobcats around here, but they're pretty damn scarce.
Yeah, bobcats.
Bobcats will
The
bobcat
most
will fuck you up.
lethal
Sure.
mammal is one of the smallest cats in the world.
Yeah.
It's like a
It's
little
not the human.
no. No, I mean as far
Like,
as like
motherfucker, we got grenades.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I get you. But like its rate of attack and success is like in the high 40%, which is just insane.
Yeah.
I watched a guy who was like running around with lions and shit.
You talking about Tiger King?
No, this guy like he was. I don't know who he is. He was young. I just saw it randomly. It came on my feed one day, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I watched it, and this guy's like sitting behind a tree, and he's like doing a selfie thing on his phone, kind of thing. He's like, he doesn't think I can see him, and you see a line behind him, just like slowly moving up to him. I'm like, "Fuck's this guy doing?" He's like, "He thinks he's sneaky." And like this line keeps coming up, and then all of a sudden just
Gotcha.
starts running at him. Like once he got so close, I'm like, "He's gonna eat him!" And then just like tackled him, and they're like
Yeah.
rolling around and stuff. I'm like, what the hell?
All right.
And then like it just shows the montage of this guy just like running around. And
Yeah.
these cats are jumping up into his arms and stuff, and he's like playing and over by the watering hole with them. And then it cuts over to like he has hyenas and fucking with elephants. He's like, this is what it's like to bathe with an elephant. He's just covered in mud.
Fucking
I'm like, what the
Tiger
hell?
King.
Where is this
Kills the
guy?
parasites.
What is this video I'm watching? You know? But
Good
yeah,
for
it
that
was-
guy.
the
I'm
thing that got
broke
me the
as
first
shit.
is when he's just sitting there. I'm like, there's a lion sneaking up on you. What are you doing?
Yeah.
This is dangerous.
He want to play.
I thought you were going to talk like Siegfried and Roy or something. Like, that didn't turn out well, man.
No, that did not. turn
No,
out.
this
Or
guy
Tiger
just
King.
like he's
For other
outside.
reasons.
None of this is inside. It looks like he's like just out in the wild, but
Yeah.
it must be some kind of reserve or something. But there's also it could be a zoo. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there's a movie called Roar that's shot in a sanctuary for cats,
Yeah.
and like those actors and actresses and stunt people just got fucked up making that movie.
I'll bet.
Mm-mm-mm.
Not recommended.
Yeah,
Playing
because
with
even
big
when you
cats.
play with a 400-pound animal, it hurts. It's like playing
With a 400
with a
pound guy.
toddler, right?
You know, you got to be careful.
It's like if you play with a toddler the same way you would like play wrestle with your friend or something like
Yeah.
that, it's not going to turn out well.
Sure.
Put them in arm bars and shit.
Put a cat in an armbar.
No,
Or
they're
the toddler.
no the toddler. That's what I'm talking
The
about.
toddler puts me in an armbar. Ah! Stop it! Ayla, Stop it! Ah!
You ever have that like primal part of you like try to figure out like if I needed to, could I beat the fuck out of this animal? Like if it attacked me, bet you I could.
I didn't.
Sure.
You ever think of that?
I didn't think it
All the
was.
time.
I didn't think it was primal. I thought it was just like survival wise. Like if I ever got attacked by a fucking bear, you know,
Yeah.
could I take a bear or could I punch it enough to get away from the bear?
Like sometimes,
No,
like when I'm putting my shoes on in the morning, like if I'm like gonna run out somewhere. Listen, I was going somewhere, right?
Okay.
I'm going out to. I gotta go to the gas station. I'm choosing what shoes to
You're
wear.
not making it better.
Sometimes I'm about to put my sandals on. I'm like, but what if I gotta run? What if someone attacks me? I can't
why
fucking
don't wear
kick well
sandals.
with sandals.
When you say someone, I'm like,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It's because
Gas
inside
station.
there, I'm like, yeah, protect myself. It's this, aggressive,
Yeah.
primal nature of myself.
You don't know what you're gonna find. At the
I
gas
saw this
station.
terrible video of this pit bull that attacked a golden retriever, and there was like 25 people in the street in New York City, just around them, and they're just screaming at him. They can't do anything about it. Motherfucker, choke that pit bull. You can choke the fuck out of them, and they'll let go. That's their instinct. Grab the collar and twist like crazy. But it was a terrible video, and that dog just whined, and I just was petting Obi. I was like, motherfucker, someone tries to come after you, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill it, Obi.
Grab their back legs and throw it out from under them.
I think sometimes it's easier to say too watching, but I don't know. In some situations, when you're right there, it might be harder to do.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess, I grew up. I haven't done it for years and years and years, but I grew up having to be,
assertive with large
animals,
Sure.
that are much bigger than me.
Yeah.
Protecting
It
the
just-
chickens from the foxes.
Yeah.
It's a hindsight thing. It's the not being there
Yeah.
thing. Like in the moment there, like you might watch like a horror movie, like what the hell are you doing, person? But like if I was in that situation, maybe I would do the same thing. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to think I
Everyone
wouldn't.
would like to think that they could take a Canadian goose.
I mean,
Sure.
we're getting
Yeah.
close to October, and we're
Get you.
talking about zombies, and you're talking about just shooting me. You don't even know I'm a zombie or not. You
Eric,
can
how many
be a
times you been
definite.
like, if that happened to me, I'd shoot that guy. Like you don't give a second
With
thought.
careful observation.
But now I'm telling you, now you're adding in some details that I'm like, what? Like
Well,
I shoot him.
he
All I'm
observed him
saying is,
carefully
like,
through
I
the
got
screen.
cut,
I don't know how many
and
times.
you shoot me in the head. Not like I'm biting at you.
No, I didn't say anything about a cut. I just said I want to let you guys know if you're ever in a zombie apocalypse, you guys got bit. I would
You
definitely.
didn't
I would
say
definitely.
if
like
you
I
got
walked
bit
by
the
a
first
pit bull and
time.
just
It
jump
was.
on it.
It was in the context clues.
I
Okay?
can't trust you, Aaron.
There's context clues.
Context clues.
Okay. I would kill you. Don't worry. That was my.
I'll make it quick
I'll
so you
take you
won't
out.
suffer.
I don't want you guys to have to be zombies. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I do. I don't know how I related to zombies instead of animals
I forget where we started.
in the same situation.
I don't know.
we were talking about large cats.
Sure, that makes sense.
Well, we were talking about little
And-
cats.
and small ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we transitioned from saving baby animals to choking them out.
No, adult animals.
and then yeah, killing zombies.
Sure.
Oh man.
How's everyone's week been otherwise? That's Calvin's. Calvin's
Yeah,
been like
that was my
I
week.
find a cat, clean
Zombies,
the cat,
big cats.
take the cat,
Yep, that's everything.
zombie
My
cat.
week has been awesome. Can we talk about my favorite part of the week? We should be able to if we wanted to, right?
I don't know.
I don't know what part of the week you're talking about. 'cause
Depends.
There's been a few
Thing
things.
we
I thought you said one just a little bit ago, and you're
Not
like, can't
that
talk about
one.
that. I'm like, well,
Related to
the
that
answer is
one.
no.
related to that one, but a different one.
Maybe.
A show that we watched this
Oh,
week.
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are.
I think we can.
I don't know when the releases are.
I think we can. And we can talk about what we're gonna be doing.
All right, we get taken down. It's your fault.
Okay.
And then
All right.
But
and
no,
you
we
owe me an apology. And $100.
did. No,
Give me $1,000.
we were able to start Star Wars Visions this week, which was super exciting. It comes out next week to everybody, but we were able to get early access. So we're actually going to have a review before it's available for everybody to watch. And we are recording our reactions, and those will release much later after the
After the
the
embargo.
episodes come out. But yeah, we were able to watch Visions, and man, when we came in that day, and I'm like looking at the schedule, it's like we're gonna watch 5 episodes of Visions. I was so happy, and it's been really cool. But we'll save our review of it for that actual video. But that was my favorite part of the week.
so make sure you're ready for a review coming
Yep.
Yep.
and the release of our reactions, which should be hopefully much faster than what they would have been before.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Eric, I was gonna chat. People were like, Mass Effect 2, that's his favorite part of the week. Here it comes. And then they were all disappointed.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that also was amazing. But that's been amazing for the last like 10 weeks.
Sure,
Mass Effect,
sure.
but
Well, you're doing 2 now. You don't have that wait period, right?
true.
Like other people waited like
Mhm.
2 years for the next one, or however long was in between.
Yeah.
Mass
It was
Effect 1
it was a
too.
few years.
I was
You know?
surprised by the difference between the two games, honestly.
Well, I mean, there's some years there, you know. Was it?
There's definitely some years.
Were they
but,
both
like,
on the first Xbox?
They were first on 360.
Were they first on the 360? I couldn't remember which.
Yeah.
KOTOR was on the first Xbox.
Yeah.
So 1 and 2 of Mass Effect were on the 360, and then there's a third one. Is that on the 360 as well?
That was
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was
Were
on
they?
the same
Okay.
generation.
I couldn't remember. I never played them, and I didn't really have Xboxes when I was
But yeah.
younger.
It was 2007 for the first one, 2010 for the second
3
one.
years. 3 years, Eric.
And 2012 for the
Wow.
third one.
That's even longer time.
But yeah, I mean, it feels like, Mass Effect 1 offers a lot of opportunities and options on how to play the game. And my exact play style seems to have been designed around that in Mass Effect 2. It's like, no, you can't do this because this is kind of the changes we've made. You got to be a little more strategic. You definitely have to use your powers and abilities more. I just kind of like let my guys do my thing, and I would go in and like, I want to do it this way, I'm going to do it this way. But I feel a little more limited. But last night on Mass Effect 2, which was streamed to, I think I really I kind of got it because I was forced to. So it was a lot more fun this
Good.
time. But to be fair, I felt that way in Mass Effect 1 as well. which is like, I don't have a handle on this. Ooh, I kind of am getting a handle on this now. So, yeah.
I do like games that have parts that force you to, like, have mastered the mechanics before you can go further.
Sure.
To, like, it can just make experiencing the game so much better. Like,
Sure.
Like they're punishing you now, making sure that you can do it flawlessly later when it counts more.
yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't get that enough. Like, there's lots of things in games where like here's a quick, like, I'm gonna tell you how to do this. Last of Us, right? Last of Us. I played that one. There's lots of tutorials that pop up, but I feel like I could have gone through without using a lot of the things it was trying to teach me, because it wasn't like the game forced you to do it or anything.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, here's this shit. You want to do it? You can.
Yeah, I like how
You
a
know?
lot of the mechanics in that are optional. Like you can just do whatever you want. Like if you want to use like a nail bomb, for instance, like
Sure.
you don't have to use them to
No.
progress the story.
But most of it, I didn't even shoot guns. I meleeed
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of stuff. But as I kept going and stuff, I kept on, like, as it went more and more, I'm like, okay, what all do I have? What can I use? How can I make it easier for me to get through this? And like using everything at all the resources I had at my disposal, like I feel like it made it a little easier. I'm like, okay, what can I do this time? Do this, and then progress through further and stuff. But I could have just, I'm gonna pick this one way. I'm gonna melee everything I see, you know.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
you probably could have almost done that.
But now, I wonder if my gameplay, or not gameplay, but my experience of the story is slightly affected because I am playing it so close to the first one. But last night, Calvin, you've played Mass Effect trilogy, right? Like last night, I met Archangel,
Oh.
and I was like, for a second, I was like,
Oh.
is that? And then I played the rest of the thing, and like I got really like excited and emotional, but I haven't had a gap between the two games to really like know if that, maybe it would have affected me more if I did have a gap. You know how sometimes we talk about, we do a show once a week, and it's going to take us 2 years to get through, but those 2 years feel like, you know, something culminates into like a remember back when this happened, and I feel like, yeah, man, that's been the last 2 years of my life. That's,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
as opposed to
Oh, shit.
last week when I watched it.
I
You know?
forgot all about that. Oh man, that's what
Exactly.
this,
Yeah.
sure.
Like we
So-
both had a visceral reaction to a moment in the newest God of War,
Yeah.
but because I had played them way back when,
Yeah.
and then hadn't played 3 since it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a much wider time
Yes.
gap for me.
Yeah. It just hits different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It do be hitting different.
That was like when I played Metal Gear Solid. I was so hyped for Metal Gear Solid 4 because it had been how many years since Metal Gear
Mhm.
Solid 3 came out, you know?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait. And then
It's
I got
actually-
it. I got it back home, and I got to watch Snake smoke for hours.
Hours.
I'm like,
It
no.
was extra years for me because I couldn't bring myself to play it immediately. I had to wait.
I also had an interaction with the bartender last night in my stream. It's it's probably the funniest thing that's ever happened to me on stream, on any stream.
Sure.
So
Heave ho exception.
it was pretty good. I was gotta say, Heave Ho's amazing, but Heave Ho has a level of tragedy, whereas this was just pure like accidental, unintended comedy. I feel like, oh, so good.
Is it clipped?
Yeah, I think the first part of it, just like the first meeting, is clipped.
Only one of them is. I don't know.
I do it a
saw.
couple times, but the first one is it's pretty fucking good. But if you do play it, like this guy's face just drove me fucking crazy.
I watched a clip where you did that, and I just saw him like you were just laughing. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on.
Mhm.
And then I watched another one where you're trying to feed Shepard pizza.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I understand this one.
Yeah, that
So
one
that
was
was
good.
funny.
And then someone shared a photo of they were going on Twitch, and like my icon for Twitch was me trying to feed Shepard, and I'm like, people are
Aw.
gonna click on that.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I did dance. I was shocked by that.
Did you want to?
I didn't. I
want
went
to?
over. I'm like, I'm gonna go talk to this person that's dancing, because they had like a marker saying you could speak to them.
Sure.
And then it like faded away, and then
and
Shepard
then the
was
club
just like
music.
shuffling, and I was like, just completely taken aback. And then I had to dance again.
You're like, no, no. What am I doing?
Like, what's happening to me?
One of the things I liked back in, and I'm sure this one doesn't have anything to do with it, but the different like extra things you could do in like San Andreas that would help boost your stats. Like you could, like depending on how you played the game and stuff too, and who you talked to and what activities you did. Like if you rode your bike, you would actually become more fit. If you didn't work out or anything,
I remember that.
and you just ate hamburgers, you would get fatter.
Yeah.
Because you were fatter, it was harder to climb over fences.
Yep.
If you biked and worked out and stuff and were more athletic, you could scale fences really quickly, If you shot different guns, it leveled up your guns and how good like your aiming and stuff was for them.
Sure.
And like those are just like random extra things you could do, and if you ignored all that, never ate or anything, you would just kind of have the basic gameplay of it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just thinking like if you went over there like, oh, this is the person that dances. I wonder what happened. You go over there and you start dancing. It'd be fun if like because you're doing that, it actually affects
That would be-
something.
Like your
Yeah.
agility or something.
Sure, yeah. Like, it's like, hey, if you dance all the time, you're gonna be a little bit more athletic. You're gonna be able to run a little faster, a little longer, or just something like that. I always liked when games did those kind of things.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really enjoying 2. Just 1 is a really great game, but its gameplay and especially its kind of reuse of assets really shows its age. It makes sense. Like a lot of this is prefabricated stuff that they use in space, so it makes sense that they're using a lot of assets over and over and over again. But it does kind of feel like I've been in this room 50 times. I know I got to shoot everybody in here and then go over there and turn left, and that's where the stuff is.
That's where the stuff is.
Yeah. So Mass Effect 2 has none of that problem.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good.
All right, do you want me to show the clip?
Sure.
Yes.
Gonna just put it up on our
Do we have
screens.
audio?
Yeah, you guys should just be able to look on your screen.
Yes.
Theory.
Show it. But yeah, you just gotta watch the bartender pretty much. It's just that guy's face. He looks so
Oh
annoyed.
my gosh.
I just could not think of it from his point of view. This guy coming up, leaning on the bar, and then
Pushing
this-
himself away with like a head shake.
and he's just like,
Yeah.
it
It
killed
always
me.
got me.
Also, but I did it a couple of times too, and I laughed a lot harder. So go check out this.
So was that your
stream.
first time doing it?
Yeah, that was the very first time doing it.
It always gets me how angry Shepard is when just some generic like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm done talking to the shopkeeper, and he like
Yep.
he leaves. It's like, what's he in a huff about?
The thing I hate is like in some of those like choose your dialogue things, like it's not exactly what it says that you're gonna say. So like I misinterpret it.
Mhm.
So to be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
say hi, and I'm like, oh, say hi. It's like, hey asshole. It's like, well, that's not what I was thinking I was gonna say.
I know.
You know,
Oh,
like, what
those are so
happened?
great though.
And I'm like, now the whole thing, like, did I pick the wrong one? Did I misread what hi was? You know, like, all right, well, they got me now. I guess this is what I'm saying. So it just sometimes I wish it would just say like, here's the sentence you're gonna say.
No, I
that way I know
understand.
what I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
But sometimes it tricks you. Like it'll just say greeting.
Sure.
There's also took me by surprise, a new system of like Renegade and Paragon where it's like almost like a quick time event.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we were watching the cutscene and it'll like just kind of pop up like, you want to fuck this guy up? I'm like, what? No, I don't want to. And then sometimes I'm looking away and I look back and I almost press it because I think like, oh shit, I'm missing something, you know?
Sure.
I'm like, oh shit, I almost killed this man. Anyway, that's been my week.
That's been your week.
Visions and Mass Effect.
It's a good week.
Gotcha.
Good times.
I don't know what's going on with it yet, but Calvin got a text message today that said, "Was Aaron in a hospital commercial?" And I was like, "Fuck, is that out or something? I haven't heard or seen anything about it. I don't know."
Yeah, people
So-
have been asking about it.
So it might be closer to where we'll get to see it. I haven't gotten to see it yet. I don't know much about it yet or
Yeah.
anything. So actually, I texted Melanie and asked her if like her email got anything about it or what. And so we'll see. But
Well, yeah, we can't find it yet. Maybe next week we'll have it. But
someone apparently
Someone
saw it like
saw it.
at the hospital or
Yeah.
something like that. But I haven't been able to find it like anywhere else yet. So
It was playing on a monitor in the doctor's office.
So once we get it to where we can watch it, like I don't want to watch it yet. I just want to be able to find it so that we can all watch it together.
Sure.
Maybe we'll do that on like podcast next week
Yeah.
if I can find it by then. So see how it turned out, what it looks like.
hopefully somebody puts it up on YouTube, like someone official, like either the hospital or the production company. and we can put that link out there, and they're
We
gonna be
just
like,
swamp
"Who the
it with
fuck
views."
is Blind Wave?"
Right? Look at all these fucking.
Because all the
Dude, this
commenters.
thing this got I don't know how many views, but like a ridiculous amount compared to the last commercial.
100,000 views.
Yeah, like I don't know how many views would be good. Like, why is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking get these guys for more commercials.
Well, like,
or something, I don't know.
You know, for example, their last video has 42 views.
Sure. We'd have 50,000 easy.
Imagine it jumps to like
Yeah.
10,000 views in
Yeah.
like a night or something like that.
It's
what the
like,
hell?
Train this many people? What's going on?
It's like the main guy from Shang-Chi. Like he, like recently, a lot of people were just flooding that he used to be a model in like, what's those photos called that you could just buy?
Stock photos.
Stock photos. So you
Yeah.
can find all these stock photos of him doing things.
Really?
Yeah.
The family that you just like, you buy a frame, you leave them in
Yeah.
there to pretend you have a family.
Like he's in a lot of like business situations and stuff, and people are just like sharing them on
like
Twitter.
they put them in like houses that they're selling to make it look like someone's living there and stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, here's what your house could look like.
It would be like that. It's like, well, you know, Aaron from Line Wave. Well, he also has problems. Go check out his hospital commercial.
That's funny.
So yeah, we'll see when that comes out. Hopefully, like we said, next week, but we'll see.
Hopefully, yeah. I'm sure I can get it.
Oh yeah,
I know
we'll
a lot
get
of
it.
people who work there.
We'll get it.
That would be great.
I'm sure we'll find it at some point.
Yeah, we'll find it.
Like I think my
We'll
my
track it
sister,
down.
I think, got a job over there recently.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't think she has any idea that I even did that.
She's
And
just gonna be looking up at a monitor sometime and see you walking around. It's like,
they're like, son of a
man,
bitch.
just seeing him everywhere.
I remember Eric was in one of the banner images for Washington State,
I was.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
and I went in and I changed the alternate text to be like, Eric Whiteley, Destroyer of Worlds,
That's funny.
or something.
Nah, I was at the community college, and I can't remember how I got roped into it. Someone came into the digital media class or something. It's like, we need some people. It was like a girl, and it was like, and you. Like, for what? Like, take photos. You want to? And I'm like, all right. And then I stopped going to class.
That's funny.
Did they compensate you?
No, I don't think so.
Say
Maybe.
they probably ought to have.
Yeah.
Rick, what about you for
I
the
keep
week?
forgetting to get paid for shit.
Yeah.
I don't think they might have tried to, and I just didn't follow up on it. I
Is
need to
there
get like
other things that you've forgotten to be paid for?
yeah, like you as a competitor on the Schmodown, you actually get paid to appear. It's not much, but it's a little bit. You know, just
Yeah.
to I keep forgetting to do it.
Oh, huh.
It's funny.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah. As far as other things for the week, I don't know if I have too much else. I did play Returnal on stream.
Yes.
I've been kind of playing that at home. I was saying to these guys a little bit that I played it at home for like, I think it was like 12 and a half hours. And I got to a point and I beat this boss. And then I went into like a cinematic thing. I'm like, oh shit, man, I beat the game. Man, this took me a little while. It was, all right, good. And then a thing happened and I got a trophy. And then when I read the description of the trophy, it said completed Act 1. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? That's all I did. 12 hours for this? Gotta go more. So I've really been in a
12
kick wanting to
hours.
play it. So I played it on Monday, streamed it, and I had a lot of fun with it. I died a few times. So over the week, I've been debating if I'm playing again Monday. I think I might. Over the week here, I've been playing it a little bit, but my goal has been just kind of preparing for a stream run and trying to make sure I have the best I can so I can hopefully have a really good stream run. So I didn't know how long the game was supposed to be. I haven't looked up like how long to beat or anything. So I know I don't only have like 2 more streams for Scream Stream. So I didn't want to get into like a new game that I was wanting to play and had to take a break on.
I feel
So
like
it's like-
rogue lights are really variable in their length.
Yeah,
'Cause,
sure.
Like everyone will beat it eventually because you just power up so much.
Yeah.
Over time, but you know you could beat it in the first run if you're good enough.
I suppose that's true. Yeah.
I mean, it's
mean-
like
Well, see, there's some stuff in this one where like you unlock other upgrades and stuff as you go. I suppose I could get those in one run if I just didn't die.
Sure.
It
Sure.
just every
like-
time you restart though, like you have the minimal amount you could possibly have. Your currency's gone. There's only a few things that it kind of saves over. So it's like it's pretty tough. I haven't done a lot of roguelikes. I was actually talking to chat when I was playing it. I'm like, what are some other roguelikes? Because I can't think of any that I've played before.
sure.
No, I can't think of any you have played either.
You say what you were talking about there. It's like, well, you could play Breath of the Wild and go right to Ganon, it might not work out very well.
Sure. It'd
Yeah.
be tougher,
Yeah.
right?
But I mean, the speedrunners do it.
But I haven't played. Chat brought up, I think Death's Door's one,
Best door.
which I thought about doing that one, but that's one of them. Binding of Isaac,
Binding of Isaac.
Hades,
Tome.
Dead Cells was one I think that I was wanting to play, but I never did.
Itself.
Like a lot of those kind of games, I've just never played. And
Yeah,
there's some
I've
that I've
never
been
really
like, you know
played
what, I
them.
want to play that, but I just never got to them. So this is my first. I think this is my first roguelike game.
I'm curious to play that because I feel like Hades is going to be one of those like pinnacles that changes the genre from here on out.
Really?
Because it uses there's not usually a ton of stories in these kind of games, and it seems like Returnal has more of a story than most of them in the past. But Hades, like, it has a pretty detailed story with a lot of detailed characters, and failure you're rewarded with story.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Well-
good. I like that.
Yeah,
Like as you progress, actually, there's story there. There's
Yeah.
some of that in Returnal, but it's hard to understand. I think. Like I
Sure.
feel like I'm missing lots of chunks, and I'm slow. It's like a mystery box.
it's like an Assassin's Creed kind of. thing,
Maybe. Like I almost feel like it's like Lost, where like I'm getting little bits of a puzzle every time I go through and I die, and then I get to something else and I'm getting more of the puzzle. I'm like, man, what the hell is this? All right, maybe I'm supposed to die to get this whole puzzle.
Sure.
So I don't know if like in Hades, you could run that all one time without dying and beat the game, right? Like,
You
is that
could-
possible?
You have to beat it multiple times to get like the final ending. But
Okay.
yes, you could beat it your first time through.
See, and I don't know if Returnal has that kind of element too. Like there could be a thing where it's like there's an ending, but there's like a true ending or a good ending or whatever. Because the first thing I had that I thought was an ending, I'm like, oh, this is okay, all right. Then it ended, and then it reset, and I was back on the planet. Like what I thought was an ending wasn't an ending.
Sure.
I'm like, well, damn, okay, all right. Well, what am I doing now? So that's interesting though that like you get rewarded for it. I like being rewarded. I've
Yeah.
slowly been rewarded with more things that allow me to do things I couldn't do before. Like you get a grappling hook kind of thing, right? Like now I can reach different places that I couldn't reach before. I didn't have to reach those before, but now I can, and it makes it easier or it helps me.
Yeah, because like in the Binding of Isaac or something, like if I die, I'm just frustrated because I died. Like sure, maybe my twitch reflexes got a little better, and maybe I encountered some new enemies and like learned their patterns or something and got a little better that way. But in Hades, it was like, God damn it, I died. But I get new story stuff.
New story thing.
So I'm happy.
I feel like that's what they do with Returnal then probably, because like there's flashbacks or you go through and when you get to certain areas, you'll get like, what's this story bit? And I'm like, okay, well at least I died and I'm coming through again. But if I wouldn't have died, gone through it again, I wouldn't have gotten this story. So I think it's kind of like that a little bit.
So I'm sure that we, since last October, we have a lot of new people that haven't experienced an October with Blind Wave Twitch. What all can they look forward to next month
For
when it
Scream
comes
Stream
to
coming
Scream
up?
Stream? Because a lot of people don't know what that means. There's like, oh, you're going to play some horror games. There's a lot of stuff going on with Scream
Yeah,
Stream.
no, with Scream Stream, like we are going to be playing some horror games.
Mhm.
They're all varying between all of us because we have different things that we like, or
Yeah.
some games that like I've already played but Eric hasn't. And I'm
Mhm.
like, oh well, people might enjoy seeing Eric play this one and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Over the years, it's evolved a little bit with some different things, but one of the bigger things that we have going on is besides playing a quote unquote scary game, we also have the ability for people to add in jump scares. And what we did, I think last year was the first time, is there's actually a extension on Twitch where you can also use your bits
Mm-hmm.
and you can choose to play different types of sound effects. And it has an arcing growth of like what the jump scary sound is versus how many bits it's worth.
Sure.
Because there's some of them where I'm like, this one here is a ridiculous sound. Probably goes on way too long. I'm going to put it up here. If someone really,
Yeah.
really wants to do it, they can.
Like occasionally, like I'll be playing and I'll just hear. I'll kind of be like, because I can't hear very well anyway. And I'll be like, is that in the game or is that and someone fuck
Sure.
with me?
Yeah.
On here, or it can be like a, or
Yeah.
something. I'm like, oh, that's good. But occasionally it's like fucking tension, blood flowing, pumping music, and I'm like, what's happening? I'm freaking out in
Yeah.
game, and I'm just
Yeah.
like a leaf
Is
was
it
went by.
That's one of the things I always thought was fun is like, is this in the game or
Yeah.
is it not? Because for me, I had my stuff turned off and I
Yeah.
couldn't see necessarily when a bit came through initially. So when I was playing Alien Isolation, I also added in sound effects of alien hissing,
Yeah.
of air vents being moved. Like they were basically sound effects from the game that I added in so that people were literally messing with me with
That's right.
in-game sound effects.
Yeah.
And they weren't just like generic footsteps or door slams or screams and stuff. Like there was
What did you do to me when I was playing Amnesia? You like came into the stream, changed something, and played that sound. What was it? I can't remember what it was.
it could have been the Amnesia like
It was like something where I'm like, what the fuck was
It
that?
was the chase
That's
music,
not one of the
wasn't it?
sounds. And it was fucking Aaron. He like added it in.
Man, I don't remember
Did
at
it
this
live.
point. There was like I added in the Amnesia's chase music,
Yeah.
so like it's the intense like doom, 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 and like oh shit, what's going on? I think someone
That's
did that
what
at
it
one
was.
point, and you're like oh shit, and you got up and you started running, and then the actual thing saw
Yeah.
you, and then you're like oh shit,
Do you know
you're
what
like
it was though?
What?
I like picked up like the stuffed rabbit or something, and you put
The
in
music started.
put the bunna down.
oh, yeah,
That's what it
And
was.
I looked around like, what the fuck was that?
I forgot about
That's
that.
what it was. It was
put-
the bunny.
The bunny down.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I
was,
remember
you
that.
I don't remember
that
what I was
live.
doing or why, but it
Yeah,
was.
I remember it was like it's like something where I'm like, that's not a part of it. Someone's
not the
fucking
game.
with me.
That's Nick Cage.
I broke you on that one, I think. Like yeah. I kind of forgot about that.
I really liked Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I didn't like Justine.
Sure. Yeah, I'm hoping everyone enjoys the games they have this year.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Mm.
I spent some time. I think it might be done. I don't think we're going to announce it today, but we might announce it maybe next podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was not my favorite. This year.
Sure. This year, like, you were looking, and we talked about some stuff, too, because Rick was like, well, what we got? And we're going through, because it takes scheduling time. I'm trying to figure out, like, roughly how long to beat these games so that we have it fitting within the month of October, if we got to have more than one game being played by somebody, and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's a decent little variety of, like, you know, there's like the horror games where you can fight back. There's the horror games where you can't fight back. You know, there's a different variety of all that. I think we got a little mix of kind of all that going on.
Yeah, I think so.
As well as doing some different group stream stuff, which I'm hoping is going to be fun as well. And with our new setup, I think the jump scares for all of us should work too, where you'll be able to jump
Definitely.
scare us during our group stream stuff too.
Mhm.
And hopefully that all works and plays out well.
Mhm.
And I still got some stuff that I need to double check on, and some of the other guys are working on some things too. But hopefully everything runs nice and fun and smooth, and you guys enjoy it and watch us just get scared.
Indeed.
It's ridiculous, but fun. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't usually play a lot of scary games, so like doing this stuff kind of helps push me to play it. My first like scary game was Dead Space.
Mm-hmm.
Any other one I played before that, I never finished. And
Didn't
I
even
think
finish the demo in some cases.
yeah, the demo to Siren I didn't finish. I got too scared of that. Like I only played the demo for Silent Hill 4: The Room, and I'm like, that's fucking scary. I don't like this shit. But like playing on stream for some reason helps me to make sure I finish some story-based games and stuff that lots of times like I play more social gaming, and I wouldn't play some of these games here and there, or I don't have time at home to play like this game that's kind of just me sitting on a couch chilling and playing this game because there's kids wanting to do this and wife, you know, whatever's going on, and
Yeah.
so
And it's a good atmosphere too. Like you're playing by yourself in this big studio
sure.
that's
So,
occupied by bats and other things.
sometimes it's just empty and quiet.
Yeah.
What was that?
Like
That's
you
something-
have lights on you, but everything else is dark.
What I need to do is
See like movement in the darkness.
the next step I need to do is start adding like sound effects, but they don't happen in your headphones and on the computer. They're happening somewhere in the building.
Oh, have
so you'd
like,
be like, shit, was that a thing? What was that? Was that noise?
have it set to another like
Okay.
output device that's like speakers in the other corner.
Yeah.
But for the Pokemon Snap debacle, we already know you're not gonna hear shit.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know what you did there. I still never heard it in the stream. I need to go back and try to watch that shit. Got tricked me, shit. But yeah, it would be so fun. Like, I set up like behind the couch. Like you guys don't know, but it's like somehow like this. You activate it with bits, and a hand just comes up and grabs your shoulder or
Well,
something. Yeah,
we've
wouldn't it be
gotta-
great? What the fuck?
We need to set up like an Arduino with the giant like dragon and
The fog machine and stuff like that.
yeah, the other thing that we have.
Grim Reaper guy.
Yeah.
It could be fun to make it like now it's 4D. You know, like
Yeah.
It's like
Shoots
if
acid
you
in your
pay
face.
50 bucks in bits, you stab him. So knife comes out. Ah!
you use 50's your mark for that.
I don't
That's your
know.
mark
What's your mark for me?
for being stabbed or
I
for the
think you
hand.
stab Eric for 50 bucks.
I mean, I would pay $50 to stab you. I'm sure. I guess. I don't know. But I want more than that to get stabbed.
You got $50?
$50.
It's not
Just like
enough.
that bet again.
It's with my knife.
Oh, okay.
With my knife.
It's your knife.
With my knife.
Oh, you're not okay.
Yeah, with my knife.
I see. But anyway, yeah. Scream Stream. This will be the third year of all of us doing it. Is that right?
I think
It's
so.
the third RPG. So,
It might be the third year of all of us doing it.
Yes.
First few years was just me. Because like I was streaming earlier on, and like it was just me playing through different scary games in 1 month
Actually,
and stuff.
I think I did it a year before we all did it too.
Maybe.
All I can remember is just the amazing games that I had to put on hold to do it.
Because
Well,
I know
God of War.
Now, Eric, had you waited for
Mhm.
Mass Effect 2
Yeah.
and done that after October,
Mhm.
you'd have had a gap for the thing you were talking about, or maybe that'd have been a little bit more meaningful.
Sure,
You know?
but
I was actually
still would
thinking
have
of you for it.
waited.
What?
I still would have waited to start or just to pause too. So it's still a delay.
Well, yeah, but it wouldn't have been in the middle of, and then you
Yeah,
would
you
have had
wouldn't
that
have had
time.
to interrupt anything.
See?
There would have been a break and then a continuation.
And then when you started, you've been like,
Yeah.
it's been a little while, guys. I
Sure.
had a break, Mass
Uh-huh.
Effect 2, and then you got into that part you were just talking about, and you'd be like, oh, what? Yeah, I forgot, or I don't know whatever happens, but whatever it is that affected you from Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2,
it happened.
you would have
like the
had that
argument
gap or
petered out.
whatever. I don't know how to respond to it, but you know what I'm talking about.
I'm just thinking like I don't think it's that much of a difference, but I get you.
Anyway, yeah, Scream Stream. It's going to be starting up October 1st. I think that's actually a group stream that we'll be starting with on Friday. So we'll be starting up some things with that.
Yep.
If you guys have any suggestions or anything, let me know on like Twitter or Discord DMs or anything, and I will take it into account. Or under the Twitch suggestions on Discord.
Suggestions on
Yeah.
Discord's good.
You can do that too. It depends on if you want the other guys to know about it or not.
Seen a couple people mention some stuff in chat. I've made some notes.
I did have some people helping me with some different sound effect things too for some games. Some of these games that we're going to be playing, I don't necessarily know. So I don't
Yeah, that's the thing.
So like the first week last year was just kind of these generic sounds, and then the second week was when I started implementing other stuff. Oh, Eric, I remember one of the other things too was that in Amnesia, there was a moment when you went into a room and this super intense like big one triggered, which takes like 10 seconds
It's
to
so
go.
long.
And when you went into this room, you did something, and this wind started spinning
Wind-
around
yeah.
you, and that music started going on. And you're just like, "What's going
Yeah,
on?"
in the vanilla game, it's like, and you're like, ooh, what was that? But in this, it was like, I'm dying. It's crazy.
It just changed the entire dynamic of that moment right there, from just this swirly wind to just crazy music and intense stuff. So it was great. It made it a hurricane instead of like a little like
It's
wind.
insane.
Yeah.
It was. So it was fun.
It's definitely supernatural.
So make sure you guys join us for that. If you're not following us on Twitch, make sure you guys go follow us on Twitch. And October will be fun. I usually enjoy it. I'm looking forward to the game I get to play too. Yay.
It'd be a good time.
All right.
This week also was very sad. We lost one of my favorite comedians, Norm Macdonald. You guys know
What?
Norm
Yeah.
Macdonald? Norm Macdonald passed away.
Really? I didn't know
It was
that.
revealed that he's been battling cancer for like the last 7 years, and in Norm Macdonald fashion, tells no one.
Yeah.
Jeez,
But yeah, he
man.
just passed away this week, and it's very sad. And he's so young.
I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dirty Work is one of my favorite movies of all time. I
Yeah.
love Dirty Work
Well,
so
he had
much.
the. I think I've listened to a couple. Like he had like a podcast or talk show or
his
something that he did.
his podcast is great.
Like I would listen to a couple like interviews and stuff he would
Yeah.
do and stuff. But damn.
Something about Norm where like, if you just read his jokes, like someone types them out, they're like a 3 or a 4 in terms of like a joke. But he can like only he can make them a 10. It's like something about the way he would deliver that would just make like, I don't even think this is very funny, but it's just his delivery that kills me. Because he can say it in such a dry way. And
Yeah.
he was just had no fear. Like he got famously fired from SNL, you know?
famously fired.
Yeah, like he got fired from SNL. And then he was like, well, all right, well, fuck it, you know? Then he got brought back as a host a couple years later, you know? But yeah, it was really, really sad to hear that he had passed away.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
And again, it's those like hidden battles. I mean, we've already lost Chadwick. We didn't know that he had cancer, but Norm battling for a lot longer and
Yeah.
still out there doing some funny. So
Do you think it's it's a weird discussion with it, but you think it's better that they like
It's
keep it more secret, or is it more just like, well, what do they want to do with it?
There's no way for me to make that judgment.
Yeah, you know,
I to be able to say if that's better or worse, I have to know intimate details that aren't my business.
Sure.
It's just, and it's completely different for each person, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I was thinking about it because, like, Norm, you said
Yeah.
he didn't tell anyone. Chadwick was the same way, where he kind of kept that.
I mean,
under
Chadwick,
wraps and
like,
stuff.
he talked about, I mean, completely is reframed now, but before anybody knew he had cancer, he talked about going to cancer wards and being with children that had advanced stages of cancer, and them being so excited to see him, and him, you know, we now know that he was going through the same thing that these kids were, you know.
Mhm.
Norm probably would have made fun of him.
Probably. But
Well,
yeah,
yeah, like one of the last things that he said, like his, I don't know what you'd call it, but like you know, flavor text or something like that.
Mhm.
He made a joke about his own, you know, death or whatever.
Yeah.
He was saying like once you die, the cancer also dies, so you didn't lose; it was a draw. I was like, yeah, that's Norm.
Yeah, in chat, when he went back to SNL, his opening of his monologue was, "The fact that I'm back here hosting means either I've gotten a lot funnier or this show sucks, and I don't feel funnier." Yeah, he was so good. If you just want a good time, just go look up Norm Macdonald saving bad interviews. Like, he would be like the first guest, and then he would move over the chair, and the next guest would come out. And he just had so many great moments of just like, he's just going to add in a comment or two here.
Really?
And it's so good.
I
It's
have to
so
look at that.
funny.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. And they're brutal, too. Some of them are pretty brutal.
I loved him, and I'm trying to think of what all I've seen him in and stuff too. But he was one of those kind of characters or actors, I guess, where like whenever he just showed up, I'm like, oh hey, sweet,
Sure.
you know, like whatever it was, I didn't care. It was just there he was,
Yeah.
you know.
Dirty Work was always my favorite. If you haven't seen it, the premise is he's kind of this loser guy that, you know, has no ambition, but the only thing he's good at is like getting back at people. Like, so if someone fucks with him, he can fuck with them back. And he ends up forming a business called like a revenge for hire business called Dirty Work. Let us do your dirty work, where he's like a professional. He's like a private eye, except instead of investigating, he just fucks with these people.
Like he finds out what their weakness is and exploits it.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Arnie Lang is in it.
It's directed by Bob Saget.
Bob Saget, yep.
Huh.
Yeah. Arnie Lang is in it. Chris Farley makes an appearance in it too.
Really?
Is one of his last roles, I think. Maybe it was like one of the last ones he had ever been in. But it's a really fun, dirty movie. I mean, don't watch it with kids, but it's a really fun movie.
I mean,
I might try to watch it at some point. Then.
Yeah.
Me and Melanie, there's always times I'm like, man, what comedy and stuff can I watch? Because like sometimes it's just fun to just like sit back and just like laugh about some stuff, you know. And it's like, well, what can we watch? What's good to watch? What haven't we watched? I don't know what I haven't watched, or what's good. Because there's sometimes like, hey, man, this is new. Let's watch this one. And you watch it, and I'm like, this isn't funny. You know, I hate the duds. So man, I need to go back and watch some of those.
Mm-hmm. No, people in chat are putting like some of the best ones. The Courtney Thorne-Smith Carrot Top interview on Conan O'Brien is legendary, and the 4-minute moth joke on Conan. He had a lot of cool stuff with Conan.
The 4-minute moth joke.
Yeah. It's almost to the point where like some of it's like anti-humor. If you guys have ever gotten into anti-humor, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
So spend some time tonight and remember the funny with Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, he was Glumshanks.
Yeah.
That was in Skyland. My kids watch Skylanders, and whenever I heard, I'm like, hey, that's Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
I know that voice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like him doing voice acting was just him doing his voice
Mhm.
and stuff. But it was like he had a unique like voice.
He has
I
a
feel
very
like,
unique
you know?
delivery.
So it was good for like doing voice acting with. I felt like, but whenever it showed, I'm like, here's Norm Macdonald. I like that character already. Whoever he is. He was in the animal show, Dr. Doolittle. I think he was like the dog, right? Wasn't he the one that was like, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball? I think he was that dog. Pretty sure. I think he was in it. Actually, I opened up this one. I was trying to look up Dirty Work.
Yeah, he was lucky.
Lucky. Oh. Sad that we lost. Great comedian.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the world could use more funny.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. All right. Well,
Well,
where we go
my
now?
best things of the week, I guess. I don't think I've gotten to them yet.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of them will be coming out tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe over on YouTube
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and keep an eye out on our social media.
Yeah.
But very excited about that.
And over on
that's-
Patreon, right? Is
yeah.
that what you're talking about?
Over on Patreon, yes,
Okay.
and on social media as well. Be able to see some stuff. That'll be good. Evie's birthday's in 2 days, so I'm excited for that.
How old?
She will be 8.
8. Wow.
Yeah, it's she is so grown up in so many ways, where like things that would have terrified me at her age,
Yeah.
she just strolls through and is just
Sure.
fine. I was thinking I was really in the mood to play Resident Evil, and like Resident Evil 4, and most of the games that I play nowadays, I play with her, where
Mhm.
she's in the room at the very least.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I was like, is Resident Evil 4 too much? I couldn't have done it at 8, but she's this little like hero who can do anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we're gonna give it a try, and we're gonna see. And she's been fine with it so far.
Good.
She's braver than I am. I'm running away from El Salvador, the chainsaw guy. Like, Daddy, just fight him. No, too
That's
scary.
good.
Gotta run.
It's got a chainsaw. Did you see that?
No, I mean, hey, ever since the lockdown and all of that, I hadn't seen either of your guys' kids in a long time. So the first time I saw her was only like a week or two ago, and I was like, man, she got big. And then Aaron's son came in. I'm like, he's a
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
He's got a deeper voice than
His
me.
voice is
Yeah, he
super
does.
low.
I was like, shit.
He's like, you guys watch Naruto, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's sweet. I want to watch it. No, I'm kidding.
he
But
turns,
he just came in tall. That happened with my nephew Hunter. Like there was
Yeah.
a period where I just didn't see him for a while, and he was almost as tall as I was, and like, I lived with that kid for his first 3 years of his life. When he was a baby. So it's crazy.
But I feel like I don't love a lot, but what I love fanatically. One of the things that I love is the merchant from Resident Evil 4.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love him too.
Merchant.
And
great. What
Like-
are you buying, stranger?
yeah, so I got to him, and Evie was as excited as I was the first time to meet him.
Oh, good. That's nice.
And I sent Aaron,
You sent me that video. Yeah.
I sent the video of her impression. How do you rank her impression?
Yeah, it's like, well, she's like trying to deepen her voice, but she has such a high voice already. She's like, "What are you buying, stranger? What are you buying?" It's so funny. I was like
sounds good.
watching it, and I was just laughing and stuff. And I was like, "What are you watching?" And like, it's Evie trying to do this merchant from Resident Evil 4. She's like, "What?" It was really good.
That's good.
I enjoyed how much fun she was having with it, because like you hear Rick in the background, was like, "What's the other thing he says?" It's like, "What are you selling, stranger?" It was
that's
really
great.
funny.
It was great. And we've been exercising a lot together. We've been doing boxing. And, like, she's getting to the point where she's not afraid to throw the punches.
Mhm.
And so, like, I'll, like, move around with her and just, like, block. But, like, when she punches me, I can feel something. Because at first she was, like, afraid to hurt her hand or afraid of hurting me or whatever. But she has lost that fear.
Good.
Now just goes for it. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I was playing games and stuff. Like, there's always the kids around and stuff too. So it's like, well, what do I play, or what can I play, or do I play something multiplayer? Do I play something single player? It's hard trying to decide what to do with some of it. And there's some games I'm like, man, I have a fond memory of this, but I don't know if they're ready yet.
Yeah.
And as a kid, sometimes I'm also like or as an adult, I'm thinking about like, man, as a kid, I played this. What the hell were my parents doing? Should I have been playing this at that age? I guess I'm okay.
But yeah, I remember
So,
like when I played Metal Gear Solid for the first time, I played it at my grandmother's, and it was my uncle's. He was off in college, and like they were having a Kodak conversation with Mei Ling.
Yeah.
And there was like a sexual innuendo. I was like, should I be playing?
I need an adult.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, I play this. I love this. I already knew this stuff.
Well, and like looking back too, because I haven't played the Resident Evil 2 remake yet, but I've seen it,
yeah,
and like it's so
definitely amped
real.
up. Yeah,
And like I'm going back and playing 4, and it's still one of my favorite games of all time. But like I'm noticing things that I didn't really notice so much. I played it like 3 years ago.
it's like different eyes, right?
Well, yeah, like
Oh shit, what's this?
no one gets wet in the rain, and like there's 4 different villagers, and they're just used over and over again, kind of.
Sure.
Thing. And like she's seeing these things because she's seen games nowadays, and she recognizes them, and then I kind of see it through her eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, some of these games. I mean, that's one of the things too. Is like, well, what games can they play now on today's games? Because back whenever we were playing on PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, well, sure, they had maybe M-rated games and stuff too, but graphically wise and stuff too, it just wasn't the same as what you get today.
sure, but it was cutting edge for then.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was, like playing GTA 3 versus like GTA 5 is different. You know what I mean? Like the hookers and things that happen are just different.
It's different.
You
It
beat
was a
some of
different
the-
time.
It was a different time. So they're just a little different.
And overall, I'm just really happy with how my workouts have been going.
Good.
Especially this last week. It's been good times. I don't know exactly when it happened, but like I noticed, I don't have to suck my gut in anymore, ever.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that was a very weird feeling that I have not had for a very long time.
That's always good.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Like, oh, well, if I do this, that looks nice.
Yeah.
But when I do this, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, hey Melanie, how do I look? Good. How about now? Then she starts laughing. I was like,
Yeah, you want to be like relaxed. It's like, do I look good? And then like flex and like, how about now?
yeah, right. Do
Yeah.
it the reverse way.
Yeah.
So, no, I get that. Understand. I'm glad it's going well.
Yeah. It's been good. It's been, I don't know, we started about the same time. Was it like 3 months?
I don't know.
I think it was July.
Very different programs too.
Yeah, it's been 6 days a week, and I haven't missed a day yet. About 40 minutes average of different stuff. It's mostly been cardio till recently.
I was actually kind of shocked last night because I was doing my stream, and I got done with my stream, and then I had to put up the live shows that got finished editing during stream. So I was sitting right here. It was dark, putting up live shows, and fucking Aaron just came around the corner shirtless in shorts, and he had just worked out, so he was like just fucking. His muscles are all bulged out and full of blood, and he just like came in, he's sweaty, looked at me, he's like, "Hey, how was stream?" And I was like, "Good, man." I had no fucking clues down there, except I kept hearing like weird noises.
Sure.
And I was going like, someone's probably just hitting the building or something. I don't know what they do over there.
Yeah.
Townhouse.
No, on Sunday we'd stop by here at the studio, and while we were here, I worked out with the kids. We did some stuff. So I was talking with Melanie about some things, and she's like, "Well, what if we did like Sundays and Wednesdays and like try to do a workout with them? Because they're not going to school now, so like gym wise, like they don't have gym. So it's like, well, what can we do? Especially going into the winter, what can you do? So I'm
Yeah.
like, well, let's start doing some stuff down here in the gym. So I had them down there, and we were doing some different things and stuff. And I was like, all right, you guys, you can't leave the gym. You can't go upstairs. Eric's streaming and stuff.
Yeah.
We're down there like, shh, don't hit the bag. You should be able to hit the bag. Rick hits the bag.
Oh
you,
yeah.
You guys should be able to hit the bag. It should be okay.
He shakes the floor up here.
Yeah.
You don't hear it.
Yeah, so it should be fine. I just don't want you guys running out into the thing, screaming and stuff. I actually, at one point, I started to carry, there was a thing of water down there.
Yeah.
And I moved it from one part and got to the bottom of the steps. Like, fuck, this is pretty loud. I don't want to walk by while he's streaming or
Sure.
like that. So I just set it down at the bottom of the steps. Didn't take it all
Those
the way
water
up.
beetles, those
Ah.
water bottles squeak so
And
bad.
then there's like, so, no, I did a workout with them and stuff. We were talking about doing, like, arms and abs on, like, Sunday and then doing more, like, legs and back stuff and whatnot. But I was looking into different things because I'm like, the things I was looking into, and there was like Mayo Clinic talking about some stuff. So I'm like, well, they're younger, and like they're varying in ages too, depending on which ones want to come.
Sure.
So I was like, all right, well, there's this here talking about strength training can be good for kids.
Yeah.
But don't try to push like heavy weights and
No.
powerlifting and bodybuilding. I'm like, well, that's
Yeah.
fine. I'm not necessarily looking for them to do bodybuilding and turn into like Arnold or something like that. But the just getting them to kind of be used to working out, get the endurance up, have some general strength. That way when they get older, if they wanted to try to do a little bit more muscle growth, they already have a general strength to kind of a good core to start with.
Yeah.
And
Like, I've never really like worked out at all in my life, but just by nature of being on the farm and lugging around 5-gallon buckets of water and stuff everywhere, I was always a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger.
Sure.
And I think that's from
just having to carry this.
eating a lot of protein and doing a lot of work. You know?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, my journey was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
I was a sickly child.
Mm-hmm.
I got it later.
Sure, yeah. I mean, the most I had, like, I did sports and stuff, and then I got into karate, and I had, like, a general athletic physique, I guess, but it wasn't, like, a muscular body. I was very, like, we were looking at some pictures early on. I'm like, Eric, look at it. Does that even look like me?
It's weird.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I can show that one on my Instagram of us in karate.
Oh, yeah, that's there, too. I
That's like
saw that one on
if
vacation.
you like got the One Ring and became Gollum in the Misty Mountains. Except not ugly.
That wasn't even, like,
That's how skinny you were.
I was very skinny and stuff back in the day. And I saw that one on Instagram, too, and I was going to be like, damn, Rick, warn me when you're going to do this shit. But I never responded to that one. So, yeah, it's just very different in the ways of what I did before. So I'm like, well, if the kids can have like a nice, do something. Colson likes to play games and stuff too, but if I can get him doing a little bit more. So like we were doing like step ups. I'm trying to use a lot more like your own body kind of stuff. Not lots of heavy weight. Leon
like calisthenics and stuff like that.
Leon was doing one thing and he grabbed like a 15-pound weight. And I'm like, well, you got to do it like this. And he goes, oh. And he did like 3 of them. Like, that's a lot harder. I'm like, yeah, well, you have a 15-pound weight. That's probably too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless you're rushing. Like, are you rushing? Like, do you have a date where you need to be looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger? And then all 4 kids looked at me like, what the hell are you talking about? And I was like, son of a bitch, they don't know who Arnold is? And I like went through my mind. I'm sitting there. They're all staring at me. I'm thinking. I'm like, are you trying to hurry up to look like John Cena? They're like, oh, no, I don't have to do that. I'm like, oh, man. I'm too old, or I've failed them. One of the two.
Aaron,
Maybe
you
both.
look like a weird Kevin
these two
Bacon.
boys.
I can't.
I look like a weird Kevin Bacon.
Look at this picture of you.
You look like Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia a little bit too.
Probably like 17 there.
Now, in
Look
that
at
moment
Rick,
too,
look at
that's
that mustache, Rick.
That's at the the mustache was
Woo.
different. That's
Show
at
the
the
whole chest.
end
Sorry,
of karate too.
Oh, my knee
so
broke.
like
Sure.
Rick's,
You're a little
Rick's
bit
geese
sweaty.
opened up because we just got tired or whatever. My hair's all crazy because we've been sparring and doing different stuff. Like, yeah, that's a much younger me and much skinnier.
much younger.
No, that's me and Rick. Yeah, that's both of us.
Yeah.
In that picture. That's Rick without a beard and no wavy locks.
Yeah.
When's the last time you didn't have a beard?
The last time?
Yeah.
Well, I shaved it once since Evie's been born.
Yeah.
At the very least. So probably like 5 years.
Gotcha.
Aaron with hair. I still have hair. I have more
I
hair
haven't
there.
It's
shaved
different
my
color.
beard since I lost a lot of weight, so I'd be interested to see what it's like, but I don't want to.
You don't want to risk it?
Yeah.
Yeah, what if Jancy leaves you?
Right?
That's the risk. You just shave half your face, and if it doesn't look good, then just always look at her from one side.
Jancy has no idea who I am without
Right?
the beard.
She probably always stays on your left side anyway, so
Yeah.
you can hear, right?
That's
Sure,
true.
So just shave your right side.
Our house is designed that way.
You have an excuse for it.
I do.
It actually is
Sure.
a perfect way to test
But
it,
only
Eric.
one
Yeah,
side.
and just leave your right side as your sinister side.
The man, what was I gonna say? The most tempted I've been to like cut my hair and shave my beard was when we were watching Dexter. I saw
Yeah.
Reese Stevenson.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to look like that.
Yeah.
That man is a good man to look like.
a good man to look like.
Like I'm not gonna look like that if I cut my stuff. I need to hide as much as possible.
Hide as much as possible.
Oh, that's funny.
No, Melanie told me I wasn't allowed to shave, and then mainly because she was like I had too much of a baby face. She felt like I looked too young without any facial hair.
Mhm.
Because in high school, like I started growing, I grew what I could and kept like the chin strap kind of things and stuff because like stuff never grew here, and like I never felt like these connected right here very well. So I always kind of shaved that off, and I just had the chin strap kind of thing going on. And then when I went on vacation, like she was like, "Why don't you just shave it all off?" Like, you want me to shave it all off? She goes, "Yeah, maybe." And like I was doing arms and stuff. Actually, I showed you guys I did my legs.
Yeah.
I'd never done my legs before. Like, this is weird. She's like, "You'll get an even tan this way." I'm like, "All right, I guess." And like we just never did my face.
Sure.
She's like, "By the time we get back, you gotta grow back, and
yeah,
no one will even
give
know."
it a week and you'll be okay.
And I'm like, I guess I could have, but we never did. Also, the razor started to die, And I was like, well, I'm so glad because she was trying when she was doing she was helping me with my legs to make sure I got everything, and she like put a stripe, like there's one hair stripe down the side. Like I'm like, what the hell is this? She goes, I hope you wouldn't see that. I'm like, what are you doing? Let me shave that. But then it died too, so I'm like, thank goodness you didn't start my face. And I only got like part of my face shaved off, and there's just like this weird mustache or whatever the hell's going on.
Right.
So yeah, it's interesting. No, actually the legs worked out pretty well. Like it was much smoother. Like, this is weird, but I kind of like it. And now they've been growing back, but they're not like it's not as thick as it used to be.
Yeah.
And I think she was right too. Like my legs were able to tan much easier without all the hair in the way.
Sure.
Because they were pretty hairy.
I mean, that's why like old growth forests don't have a lot of undergrowth because there's just not enough sunlight.
I guess makes sense. I suppose. So is that all of our weeks and stuff then? And
I
think we've hit a
believe
little
so.
point here on that. Rick, did we want to talk about the IGN thing?
Maybe. We got a lot of questions.
Oh.
We could talk about the IGN thing. I mean, IGN is currently doing a like best video games of all time bracket. So kind of like the brackets we did on YouTube to choose what games we were going to stream.
Sure.
But they are doing a best video game of all time.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Is this why I'm consistently being asked what my favorite game of all time is on streams? Like I've been asked like 5 or 6 times. I feel like
maybe people are just interested, Calvin, in you and your thoughts.
Is
Sure.
the tournament over?
No, it's ongoing.
Still going?
No. Yeah, it's still going on. They've done 2 weeks. I think the 3rd week just started.
Okay.
And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 weeks of it.
I think so, yeah.
And this is a voting thing?
Yep. Yeah, you can
Okay.
go on to Instagram. I think they do it on Twitter and YouTube community as well, I think. They'll post the different matchups. And
Interesting.
I'm not sure how they came upon the original games for it.
Like how they choose these games.
Yeah.
Sure,
I'm
yeah.
trying to look at the article here right now real quick to see if there's anything that says.
is it like all of their 10 out of 10 ranked games?
I mean, that could be. It could just be their highest ranked games, but there's some like missing on here, I feel like, if that were to be the case. But I mean, you can't include every game.
Sure.
I don't know. I need a tournament. I already got it.
What?
I already know what it is.
What is? Best game of all time?
Yep.
What is it?
What do you think? If you can't get it, then you fail.
Well, I want to
Probably gonna
see
say
1 if it's on here and 2 if it's
his
lost
favorite.
already.
Yeah, right? Because they're slowly narrowing things down. I don't
Sure.
know.
No, I mean, and this
It's
is
hard.
voted on by a bunch of people that might have.
Well, it's voted on by a bunch of people on social media. Like,
Sure.
from the winners, I can definitely see that there's a modern bias.
Yeah, I get you. I mean,
Yeah,
mine
maybe.
is Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
Best game ever made.
okay. I mean, like they have like there's Red Dead Redemption.
Which lost in the
Borderlands.
first round.
Well, that's bullshit. So I'm glad that we've established that this IGN tournament is wrong.
It lost to Skyrim.
Oh my God, come on.
Which,
I mean, Skyrim is a good game.
Skyrim wouldn't exist if it weren't for Ocarina of Time.
Sure, but
Yeah.
is that what you're going
Yep.
for in the idea of these games?
No, I'm going for that. I've never played Skyrim, so I can't compare.
Like, it really
I'm sorry,
depends-
I've played Skyrim like for 10 hours, but it's the first hour of the game 10 times.
Yeah.
It really depends on what you're looking, what are you measuring, and is it just like, oh man, when you look at these two games, when I think of Skyrim versus this,
Sure.
and part of that could be
Yeah.
too, who's voting? Are people that played Ocarina of Time voting in this, or are people who are younger
Mhm.
voting in this?
haven't
In which
played it.
case, maybe they haven't played it.
Yeah.
You know, Rick
Yeah.
hasn't played Ocarina of Time.
I have not, but I would say it's a better game than Skyrim.
Would you?
I would.
Even though you haven't played it?
I mean,
Fine.
it's also, I mean, I'm biased against it, but no game will ever make me feel the way I did when I played Ocarina of Time either. So
Sure.
that's just how that is.
And that's the thing
You
too.
know?
If you ask everybody like, what is your
Yeah.
favorite game of all time, you're probably gonna have such a variety
yeah.
of answers of like,
hmm
you'll get things from, I don't know, someone saying World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
someone saying Ocarina of Time, Metal Gear Solid. Like you're gonna get a variety of different names of
Deadly
games
Premonition.
just because. Is that your favorite
No,
of all time?
it's not, but it's really good. Really
See,
good.
Now, also, like, this is the best video game of all time. So I
Yeah.
wonder if these are based on, like, I don't know if they gave Skyrim a 10 out of 10 on IGN. I don't think they did.
Not when it was released, certainly.
I don't think so.
I
It's
don't think.
IGN. The first 4 numbers don't count. Like, don't even look at those.
Sure,
Yeah, I mean,
that
like,
was my complaint.
for me, I always put like historical significance higher. So, like the older a game is,
I get what you mean.
The better it's going to rank because every game that came after it was built upon its shoulders.
It's the same thing for a movie like Star Wars, where it's like, well, yeah, I mean, you might not like space or historical, or not historical, but like space fantasy or mythology or just, silly movies for kids. But there is no discounting its technological leaps and bounds ahead of its time, and that movies today would not be made the same way if it were not for that game. Or I'm sorry, for that movie.
Sure.
I feel the same way for a lot of different stuff, but Ocarina of Time is the one that got me from just like having fun for an hour and playing a game to being like, it's the first time I ever felt inside another world. So that's something that I can't replace. And it's also something personal that I don't need to convince others of either,
Sure.
True.
And I think when it comes to that thing too, it's really based on like what you've played and what you have from your memory and stuff of these games. Because like when you go into that, like, oh well, if we're looking at history as being a big part, then it should be the first Legend of Zelda game, right? Because without that, we wouldn't have had Ocarina of Time. Or hell, if you're gonna go with that, like, there's so many other games that like this paved the way of original. It should be this is the best game of all time because if we didn't have, I don't know, the Donkey Kong game, we wouldn't have had Mario, we wouldn't have had this and that,
I mean, for my list, Space War has to be on it because it's the first, and you can't have everything that came after it without Space War.
So is that the best game of all time then?
It's one of them, I would say.
But is it good? Like when you look at it too from like when you're just looking at like story and gameplay and that kind of stuff too, like those things should take in a category of
sure.
or have some precedence there.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
I mean, at least for my pick, I can speak about it for 6 hours, but I can't because I want Rick to play it.
Sure.
Without having, I mean, he's already spoiled on some of the best parts of the game just by nature of being around Nintendo at all.
Yeah, and
but
that happens.
There's a lot of things in there that I think, like, here's, like, I'm a very huge Zelda fan. Like, here's the reasons why not only does it, it shook up a convention, but it created a whole convention that needed to be shook up from again. And, it was revolutionary that Breath of the Wild went back to the roots of its first game because Ocarina of Time changed the game so much,
Sure.
Sure. No, I get you there.
Yeah.
And a lot of that makes sense, and I understand that too. But yeah, it's just hard to narrow it down. I mean, I started watching that randomizer guy you said about just to kind of see, like, man, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I could do a randomizer, let alone this stuff.
That's the thing too. Like the last Awesome Games Done Quick, I was watching a thing from it. He's like, "Oh yeah, we discovered this glitch like last week, like last month or something like that." This game's been out for so long, they're still discovering shit.
Sure.
It's crazy.
That's the same with a lot of games, though. I watched a Revolution? I don't know. The history of, like, Castlevania's speedrunning. And people keep finding new things and doing new stuff as we keep going with, like, oh, here's how you can do it faster.
Yeah.
Evolution?
Evolution might be the word, maybe. I don't know. Just, like, over time, here's, like, from when they first got their time of whatever back in 2005 or 7 or whatever it was when, like, speedrunning started being a thing, really, and then to now, like the how it's evolved over time.
Yeah, and I'm not saying how old it is the only criteria. I just think it's
that would be silly.
criteria.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ocarina of Time, if it would have beat Skyrim, would have had to gone against Assassin's Creed or Black Flag.
I also quite love that game, but yeah, no contest.
Sure, no, I get you. I mean, if you've already got, like, that's what it is. For me, like, I really think I'd probably go with Metal Gear Solid, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not 100%. Like, I'm like trying to think of other games because I don't want to forget anything else. Because I don't want it to just be, when I'm trying to think about it, I'm not just going with, like, well, what's my favorite game?
Sure.
I'm trying to think of what's the best game.
Yeah.
Like, as a whole for lots of things. And, like, maybe history is in there, but maybe it's not too. Like, I feel like you need to take, like, you need 5, like, prerequisites of, like, this, and then rate them, like, a 1 to 10 scale, and that's what that's what the best game ever would be.
I mean, I think, Skyrim's great for a whole bunch of different reasons, too, like what it did for the mod community, its sheer accessibility. Like, if I said, hey, go play Ocarina of Time, one of the best games in the world, what the fuck are you going to do? You have to go emulate it, or you have to go get a Wii Virtual Console, like, release it on the Switch. Like, I can play Skyrim on my refrigerator. I can't play Ocarina of Time. Damn. Sorry. Tangent.
Sure.
Yeah, like Tetris is not one of my favorite games, but it would be in, I would say, the top 5 best games.
So you agree that it should have beat Rock Band?
Oh, yes.
I was looking at that, man, I don't know, but Rock Band changed up stuff and was just new and different. Sure, Tetris is just, it's Tetris. It's been around forever, but again, Rock Band hasn't had a game release in years, nor does it make equipment, but it's still going, They keep trying to revamp and make Tetris something new just so people play it.
Well, yes, but the newest Tetris has the NES Tetris mode in it. Like it still is something that people, like that's the version that people play competitive and keep it going.
Yeah, I'm just looking through this list here of different games that are on the list. There's a lot of, like, all these are really good games. I was wondering what Metal Gear Solid game they picked, 'cause I figured they only would pick one. I see they picked 3.
Well, there's 2 Half-Life games on here.
Is there?
Yeah, there's Half-Life 2 and there's Half-Life Alyx, at the very least. As far as others, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just looking through trying to see what all they have, because they have, like, Super Mario World. They have Smash Brothers Ultimate, which, like, I definitely enjoy that game. That game's great.
Yeah.
But then they also have, like, The Last of Us, Metal Gear Solid 3.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those games are really good games. Like, I just finished Last of Us, and I'm like, man, that one there, I was, like, debating, like, should it be a 10 or should it not be a 10? Like, a 9.5, I'm like, that's where I'm at now.
Sure.
I'm, like, still been debating, like, should it be a 10 or not?
But if you give yourself more time to think about it, will it worm its way up to 10?
Yeah, I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh, this is where it's at, and it's good. But, Halo 2 versus Mass Effect 2 is on here.
Interesting.
GTA 5, Uncharted 2, Street Fighter 2, Pokemon Yellow. See, there's another Mario game. Here's Mario 64, which that's another one of those games that, like, changed up what Mario was. Kind of similar to, like, what Zelda, like, Ocarina of Time, like, here's what Ocarina of Time did to the Zelda games. Here's what Mario 64 did to the Mario games.
It changed 3D games.
Yeah. Those are some of the first 3D games and what they did for platformers and different stuff. So, like, I don't think Apex Legends being on here, that should be the best game of all time.
Yeah.
But it's on this list.
Yeah.
But it also beat Super Metroid, which seems weird. So,
which was a number 1 seed, I think.
Interesting.
So I'm just looking through and seeing, like, what they are. Like, Breath of the Wild's doing really well on here.
Yeah.
Like, that's up against Mario Brothers 3. So, like, what's better, Breath of the Wild or Mario Brothers 3?
Sure.
And
for me,
that's a tough one because both of those are really good games.
It is tough. And it's, as much as people can say, like, they're trying to be objective, like, everything is so subjective. Like, we feel the way we feel because we're 30-year-olds,
Yeah.
Whereas, like, when we were young and we said, what's the best movie of all time? The 30-year-olds then were going to say something that was not what I would. No, it's ridiculous. It can't be that one. It must be this because those are old. This is the new. Get with the times, old man.
Sure.
Like, I didn't give a shit when I was 15. I didn't give a shit about Casablanca.
But, like, all my favorite movies are from before I was born.
Yeah, you're weird though.
I'm
kidding.
I'm in my 30s now. I still don't really care about
1977 before I was born too. Yeah.
Sure.
I get you, but I'm just saying, like, there's always going to be, the new that brings out the old. It's the same thing with music. People that have music tastes, like, they'll tend to like things that came out around the time that they were coming up. Granted, there are outliers, absolutely, but when you're trying to find, like, a happy median of what the best are with all the people, it's just so hard to do.
Sure. Like, I'm curious to come back and see what wins this here in a couple weeks.
Sure.
Just to see what happens with it.
Yeah.
Because, like, some of these, I'm like, I get what Rick was talking about because he was saying that he was looking through it, and there's some things that he agrees with, some he disagrees with. Like, a hard one here for me is StarCraft. Like, it's a real-time strategy game, but it did some really good stuff. It was very popular. It kind of helped with the esports kind of stuff, and that's a big change in a lot of things for what gaming is and what it means and stuff. Yeah. It's up against God of War 2018, which I know a lot of people have said is really good and looks good.
But they're completely different genres, and
it's so different. And
different
it's
voting
so hard
bodies
to compare, and it's like,
yeah.
I don't know that God of War pushed gaming like StarCraft did, But should that be part of it, or what should be part of that?
And
so for me, I'm looking at it differently. I'm trying to be more objective and stuff.
The other thing too is you don't know what the legacy is. Like, it's 2018, so, like, when did StarCraft come out? 90.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gosh,
like 98.
Long time ago.
Maybe, I don't know. But, like, however many.
Yeah, 98
years,
March.
Damn, got it. However many years we were removed from that, like, once we're that many removed from God of War, maybe it did
Yeah, I mean,
alter
there's
things.
20-year difference between these games releasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's crazy. Sid Meier's Civilization's also on. You know, like if you compare those are at least similar too. But these are just so different of games, and it's definitely hard when you're not just looking at like. I think it's easier to be like, what's the best X game, right? Like, what's the best adventure game? What's the best shooter? At least that way you're comparing like mechanics and story and all that kind of stuff. But when you're starting to like toss in like, all right, well here's like Red Dead Redemption versus Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That one to me makes sense. They're more
Sure.
open world and stuff,
Yeah.
and they're kind of similar in gameplay.
Well, and the thing
But-
you gotta
When you get Burnout 3 versus World of Warcraft, I guess it's so different.
Yeah.
Very
yeah,
different
like
play
if
styles
you
and
compare
stuff.
Mass Effect 2 and Tetris, it's
Yeah.
like, the scope of what they tried to do is so much different.
Sure. Like the story of Tetris. you know what
yeah,
I
I mean there
like,
isn't one.
L block. Like that's what you got. That's it.
Yeah.
Line block.
But everything it does perfectly.
For what it's going for.
Yeah. Exactly. And when you're trying to do more, you can't be as perfect, right?
Sure. No, I mean, I guess that's true. But so I'll be interested to come back and see like the reveal of the winner is said to be September 29th, which we'll have a podcast on the 30th, so we can probably talk about it and see what the winner is going to be then. But
Yeah.
if you guys are interested in voting, the last few here, there's only like a few here. I'll mention what they are. It's
I think there's only, like,
GTA
8
San
brackets.
Andreas versus Fallout New Vegas, World of Warcraft versus Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, God of War 2018 versus Skyrim, Minecraft versus Witcher 3, and then Super Mario Bros. 3 versus Breath of the Wild, Titanfall 2 versus Bloodborne, Batman Arkham City versus Dark Souls, The Last of Us versus GTA 5. So there's actually 2 Grand Theft Autos still on this list. And I get what you mean, Rick. A lot of these here that have seemed to make it through. Like, what's the oldest game that's through so far? Looks like Mario
3.
Brothers 3 is the oldest one. Like, a lot of them are newer ones. So that's where they're at right now. But I wonder which one to win it on their bracket that they have.
It's interesting. I mean, I haven't played a lot of those games,
Sure.
but
No, I mean, I
and
can.
it's also like, well, who's it going up against too? What game would have made it to a final round if it was in another bracket?
Sure,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things too. Like what they're up against really can help determine,
Yeah.
like how the bracket's gonna play out. Which is why they probably drew like numbers and stuff for this too. Because like while, Minecraft could beat, I don't know what it beat. Minecraft beat
I mean, apparently beat Dwarf
Fate-
Fortress, which is not on the list.
Minecraft beat Fable 2 and BioShock, but would it have beaten Last of Us? Or Dark Souls, or some of these games that have made it through otherwise. And if that's the case, then what game would have been in its place instead in that slot? So it's tricky to get that. All right. Well, Rick, you said we had questions as well that we could go through.
I
and
do have
If you guys have submitted questions, you can see in the bottom of chat. There's a little bubble with your Blind Wave tokens. You can submit questions there. We'll go through and try to answer what we can. We won't get to all of them, but we'll get to some of them. And if we don't get to yours, then, well, you'll get your tokens back.
Often, hey Blind Wave, always here for the podcast. Here's my question for today. What are your expectations for Shang-Chi and the Eternals? Are you going to do reaction or a review?
The plan is, I believe, to do a reaction because we have waited this long and avoided the theaters. And other than watching the trailers, I have no real expectations or anything other than some people whose opinions I trust saying that they really liked the action in it, which makes me excited.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. I don't know too much about any of it yet, so I'm excited to see. When we get a chance to see it, I'm excited to see it.
I'm more excited for Shang-Chi than I am the Eternals.
Yeah.
But I have no real reason for that other than it just looks like it's been a while since I've seen a good fight.
Sure.
And I'm in the mood.
Yeah, definitely.
Tori asks, Rick, have you seen the miniseries White Queen? I watched the first 4 episodes. I liked what I saw, but I stopped. for reasons I do not remember.
Weird.
Huh.
What is White Queen?
It's about Edward IV, Elizabeth Woodville, Margaret Buffont, and Anne Neville. It's like a historical miniseries.
Okay.
Normally, I just see those, and it gets me in the mood to read books about them. Let's see. Air to the Face, Subblind Wave. Have you ever thought about releasing informational videos regarding popular asked questions? For example, everyone asked about Titans or Shang-Chi. May have missed tweets. There's nothing that we could do that would show it to everyone.
Nope. No matter what we do, there will always be more than half people not getting that information. It's just the nature of doing any type of work or stuff on the internet. Just, there's so much content that people are just gonna miss even things that they really, really enjoy.
Yeah, like the answer is in the video, but they're commenting on the video.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
we had Vinland Saga go out today, right?
It went up today.
It went up today.
With one on YouTube, more on Patreon, right? You're
Four
talking about
on
Reddit, right?
Patreon. Huh?
You're talking about Reddit?
No.
Oh, you got other stuff too?
There was a YouTube comment that popped up that was like, man, you guys are being really deceiving by calling this a reaction. It's just a review. There's no reaction here. And like all these people are replying like, they put it in the video, they put it in the description, they put it in the pinned comment. You literally had to skip those 3 things to complain that there's no reaction there,
Yeah, they had to scroll past the pinned comment to comment.
And we've been doing this for like 2 years or 3,
Sure.
longer. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say, like, we put that up this morning.
Yeah.
At like, I don't know, 9 or 10.
Sure.
And there was a couple hours ago, I was on Reddit, and someone's like, hey, any idea when Vinland Saga is going to be coming out?
Really?
And someone just said, today, LOL. And that was up on Reddit,
That's
and it
funny.
has been
I like
it had been
that.
hours since it had gone up on YouTube. So yeah, it doesn't matter what we
It
do.
doesn't
People
matter.
miss even things like that. We've had I don't know how many, like we do the big show poll.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a good example of people being like, react to this show, and it's like we actually finished that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
React to Dexter's, like that one's
There's
done. It's already
yeah,
did.
It happens a
React,
lot.
It's like what?
Yeah.
If you just Google Blind Wave in the show, it's probably there.
Mhm.
Like there's
Yeah.
lots of things we've done. So
Yeah, I don't want to make fun of them, but like someone in here asked, have you ever played Hades, thought about playing it on stream? I did.
you
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Mhm.
You can look back through probably the highlight channel.
It should be here.
Or in the VODs.
In VODs, and
And-
that should be on the Twitch archive.
And you can't get mad at someone for being ignorant about
Sure,
a
no.
subject.
No.
But it does highlight the idea that no matter what we do, there's always going to be someone that has a question, because everybody's, how many people that watch us every day now just started last month, I mean, I get into that system where like I found a new YouTuber and I watch a video every day of theirs for a month, and then I just kind of fall off, and I miss stuff, and then I come back, and then if I have a question, I don't want to feel like an idiot, so I definitely understand there's people that have these questions, but it's just only so much you can do.
yeah, people they just miss stuff, and it could be algorithm things too,
Yeah.
or it could just be like, well, I haven't seen it, so maybe it's not there.
Yeah.
But they haven't looked. Or
Sure.
whatever.
I mean, we're coming up on releasing 100 episodes of Naruto, and they're still every week. Someone like, are they going to be starting 2 a week soon?
Almost 2 years.
I know.
This is the precedent.
Well, that's not ignorance. That's just insanity.
I know. It is.
Asking the same question, expecting a different result.
Will you sell Calvin's hat?
Hmm.
how much, Calvin?
Yeah, how much,
I mean,
Calvin?
You can buy it
No, Calvin.
from Stetson.
Calvin, it's different.
I want the
Okay.
sweat.
You mean
If you could buy cowboy hat, right? Or you could buy like a cowboy hat that like, I don't know, Burt Reynolds wore. on,
that would
like,
be so
Smokey
fucking
and-
expensive.
Smokey and the Bandit.
I'd prefer one that I can afford.
I'm just saying they're different,
Sure,
Does it smell smoky?
but it's my hat.
I don't think he actually smoked on
I'm
that.
Or
not
like a
Burt
bandit.
Reynolds, Aaron.
I know you're not Burt Reynolds. I'm just saying, like some people though must be like,
Oh, maybe
I
that's
want,
why they're asking for my hat.
I want Calvin's
because it's
hat.
affordable.
Yeah. You're not Burt Reynolds.
Sure.
$10.
Yeah. Dang, that's less than what I paid for it. No, it was a gift from my mother.
All right. 8.
Dang it. She's in chat.
The Quad Father. Hey guys, have any of you seen the movie Secondhand Lions? It easily makes my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
I've never seen it. No.
Secondhand Lion. Is that a
I've
movie?
heard of it.
Secondhand
you
Lions.
calling
Is that
this
the one
person
about
a liar?
lions? I don't think I've seen it, but I think I've seen the cover. Does that help?
No.
Kojo says, just finished Deathloop, one of the most interesting different games I've played. Has
Yeah.
anyone thought of playing it? Definitely recommend it.
It's been tossed around a bit
As...
and talked about. Just trying to figure out what we're doing and stuff with it.
Lewick, can I use blind wave tokens or bucks instead of bits for Scream Stream?
Not as of right now. Also, people have tremendous amounts
Yeah.
of bucks that I don't know what I would set it to, and I feel like it would be like a never-ending amount of. Like one of the things, like with using bits, like I know bits are not an unlimited resource, but sometimes
Yeah.
blind wave bucks feel like they're at an unlimited amount. And
There for a while, somebody had more blind wave bucks than the blind
Than
wave
Blind
account
Wave did?
had, and we literally watch all of our streams.
gambling, man.
Yeah.
So like trying to figure out a good like if we did do something where we could set it up with blind wave bucks, trying to figure out the price so that it's not gonna just be like a constant just screaming loop or something like that too, because it's fun to have the jump scares, but it's also like you want them to be able to move through the game, you want them to understand story stuff and whatnot too.
It
So
should be a
there's
spice.
There's a balance we're trying to find with it too.
Just a
so-
little like extra flavor on top.
Yeah. And hey, before the next question, I also had a pickup for my best of the week. You know, we had different types of reactions all the time, you know, and some of the most special ones are emotional or sad or angry. But this week, Stargirl Season 2, Episode 6 had one of the best fight scenes that I've seen on
It was really good.
television in a long, long time. And it was awesome. I just want to make sure that we're throwing out there that people that do like, you know, the anatomy of a fight scene and something well edited, well choreographed, it hit on like every level for me. And I'm like stupidly a stickler on a lot of fight stuff. So if you know, whether you like comic book movies or, you know, like maybe like this is kind of like a show from not for, you know, this isn't fucking Titans, it's fuck Batman, you know, it's a little younger, skews a little more teenage or whatever, but the fight scenes were so fucking good this week.
It's great.
I just gotta tell people about it.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine really hit hard this week too.
You did. Oh, it was good.
She's a bitch.
Has any of the crew thought about playing Five Nights at Freddy's for Scream Stream? I've played the first one off Scream Stream.
Off of it. I think
Yeah.
I've at least played all of them a little bit. I did play them during a Scream Stream at some point. At the time they had Sister Location. I think there is a newer one out. I forget what it's called, but Leon has been playing it in VR, and then he stopped playing it in VR.
It was
He's-
probably too good.
He's not been playing it anymore.
I've never played it.
So
Rick, what do you think of the Berserk's last chapter? Eric, are you up to date? Eric just finished Deluxe Volume 8.
Yep, I just finished it. I brought it back, I think, this morning or yesterday. But yeah, I finished it. I love it. I need more. It's weird that it just feels like, man, every time like a new volume comes in, it feels like it's like obviously the same story, but it feels like he just keeps changing it up in really cool ways.
I haven't read the latest chapter. For Berserk and Metal Gear Solid, many things. I always leave the last one until there's another one.
Mm.
But for Berserk, I might never read that one. I don't know. We'll see.
I'll read it immediately
Right. But then
and quickly.
why wouldn't you though?
Just because it's not over if I don't read it.
It's a weird way to like
It's the
look
same
at it.
reason he didn't.
Because
he didn't
all
play
that means
Gear
is the
4.
last one you read is where it was over then. Because you're not reading the next one.
You can relate. It's like Desmond from
It's
Lost.
exactly like Desmond
where
from Lost.
where he's like he has a favorite author, but this is the one book that is. I want this to be the last book I ever read.
Yeah.
So when he's in trouble, he like pulls it out.
Sure. And I get that there too.
Yeah.
Like if that's what you're going for too, but like I understand like, oh man, it's gonna be over. I don't want it to be over. But I
Yeah.
also want to experience the story and not miss it, you know? I want to
Sure.
see what it is and enjoy it.
Don't you
so.
have something like that with Parks and Rec? You never finished the last bit of it or something like that?
Well, with that one it wasn't so much of like oh, if I watch it, it's gonna end.
Yeah.
It was more so of like, oh, this is the last episode, and it's like twice as long as a normal episode. I don't want to just watch this while I'm just doing the dishes.
Sure.
I want to actually sit down and watch this final episode.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I just never got to
That
it,
was
and I
3
never
years
did.
ago.
And now I'm like, I don't know if I'd remember everything
Sure.
now.
And
I might have to watch the whole show again.
Yeah. Well, like eventually I've done it. Like I saved the last 2 episodes for Cowboy Bebop for like 5 years, but I finally did watch them.
Gotcha.
Are we doing any more tier lists anytime soon? Eventually. I think we'll do another
We
one.
need to do a tier
I
list.
had a lot of fun.
You know, here's what we need to do. Our next tier list should be a tier list about tier lists to figure out, like, we can prioritize what tier list we should do next. You know, like, what's the tier list? What's the best tier list? Like, games,
Sure.
music,
Mm-hmm.
anime music,
Mm-hmm.
and
Why separate?
actors,
Snacks, condiments.
snacks, movie snacks,
Tom Cruise movies.
Tom Cruise movies, yeah.
No,
And then we can figure out.
that's double F.
All right,
tier.
guys. Now that we have our tier list of tier lists, we know what tier list we should do next.
Yeah.
Or should we do an S rank? They can vote. Do you guys want an S rank one, an A rank one, a B rank one? Let us know. The next tier list will be.
How about like TV theme songs or something?
That's a good one too.
Like all the things that we reacted to, but their theme song.
Yeah.
Sure.
Put that,
That
on
could be cool.
put that on the tier list. Tier list.
Yeah, the tier list. And then we do the top 5 tier lists.
But no, like that's the thing too. You can do so many. You can do tier lists of anything
Yeah.
you wanted to. Like people have said about like Pokemon, movies, TV shows. Like we
Yeah,
did
I
the TV show one, right? Or at least what we've reacted to TV show.
Sure, but we
Yeah.
could do tier list of episodes of a TV show.
Sure. And
That's
that's
gonna be a
crazy.
lot of
many
episodes
tiers.
of
That's-
Naruto.
Well, that's crazy. That depends. Like I feel like in that one you got to pick it on that show.
Yeah.
Right? All right. Now we have 100 episodes of Naruto. Let's do that, or whatever. But
It's a lot of sorting.
Narwhal, hey guys, I need some advice. I have the hardest time getting starting / getting into a new show. However, once I start it, 99% of the time I love it. How do you guys mentally prepare yourselves to start a new show?
Well, for us, usually it's just scheduled for us.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's when we're going to start. On my own, I'll like get into something and I'll binge it. Not binge it, but I'll watch a little bit of it during like a meal time or, when I get 10, 20 minutes or whatever. But once I'm done with it, I like go through Netflix, Hulu, just trying to find the next perfect like thing. So I definitely feel the hesitation sometimes.
Yeah. It's like trying to pick the perfect thing that you're in the mood for right then,
Yeah.
and feeling like if you watch something that you weren't completely satisfied with, you've wasted that time that you could have watched something
Yeah.
that you would have preferred.
sure.
It's mostly just like, how many times in your life have you started watching something and you've felt like, oh, this is so bad I can't finish it, compared to all the times that you've started watching something and been happy to watch it and finished it?
For
you know?
me, it's not necessarily that it's so bad. It's that I'm not in the mood for this. Like,
Sure.
I really like a true crime documentary on Netflix, but I'm not always in the mood for it.
Sure.
But once I've started it, I'll watch Wild Wild Country is an awesome documentary on Netflix. It was like, I don't know, 5-6 episodes. But it took me like a month to get through it because I'd only watched like 10 or 20 minutes or whatever at a time.
Yeah.
But once I was done, I was like, I can't watch another one yet. I got to go find something lighter, you know?
Yeah. In my own time, I don't know how I pick things. I think the main thing with that is just like, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
What is there? And I'm looking through. Sometimes it's something that we saw a trailer for, like Melanie
Mhm.
saw a trailer for or something. She's like, we're going to watch this. Or the most recent one was like, oh, I heard about this show, and it has these actors in it. We're going to start watching it. But she doesn't tell me who the actors are.
Yeah.
But they're actors that she knows. So she knows I'm going to know them.
Sure,
You know?
Sure.
So that was one of the more recent ones that we did. Actually, that was a more recent 2 that we did. It was like, oh, I know these actors. This looks interesting. A lot of big names in it. Let's check it out. But as far as like mentally preparing, sometimes it's some shows I go into and I'm like, I don't know. Like I feel like I'm trying to like blank slate my head and not think necessarily of like, all right, I'm not gonna like this, or all right, I'm gonna love this. So I really want like to just kind of start getting a feel for everything, but it's hard to do.
Yeah.
Like going into Vinland, I'm like, all right, I don't know what Vinland's gonna be. I'm not really sure what to expect. I should have just expected Vikings right off the bat and everything. But I'm like, I don't know really what Vinland Saga is going to be. It could have had mechs in it, you know? And it could have just, sometimes you do that. You make like a name of whatever it is, and it's just like, this pulls from this. But it's really not about that at all. It's just, that's what inspired it or something.
Yeah,
you know?
there's not a lot of cowboys in Cowboy Bebop.
Sure, exactly.
But there's
right?
not no cowboys.
That's true too, you know? So, I don't know. It's hard to kind of like think about like where I put myself when I'm going to start a new show. But I would say at home, usually it's more of just like I'm bored and need something. What do I want to do? And lots of it is like me and Melanie will spend so much time like, what do we watch? I don't know. I'm just clicking through looking at stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, none of these titles or things are pulling me.
Yeah.
Like until I have an idea of what I want, I don't really know what I want.
I've also just recognized in myself that in order to put off doing something that I really should do, I'll kind of sit down and like try to like hope I find something that, oh, no, I got to put that off because I got to binge this, you know? So I've been trying to, when I do end up doing that, be like, okay, what am I avoiding? I'm just going to clean the garage. Just go start. Once I start, I'm fine, you know?
Yeah.
So that happens a lot to me too, where I'm just like aimlessly trying to find a distraction.
The other thing that's hard to do
usually-
too is at home. Like sometimes I don't know what to watch because I'm like, I might have to react to something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
I don't know what to watch.
If it's good enough for you to watch and really, really enjoy, it's also good enough to react to.
That's why I watch a lot of documentaries.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. But sometimes like I need something funny, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know what to watch. It's funny. And that one is the toughest one for me. Is when I'm trying to find something funny.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of shows and stuff lately or movies that me and Mel are like, oh, let's check this out. It's supposed to be pretty good. We watch it. I'm like, you liking this? She's like, no.
Yeah.
Is this dumb to you? Yeah.
I watch a lot
All
of
right. Let's find something else.
I'll end up watching a lot of stuff that I'd seen before a long time ago. Like I recently watched Blast from the Past
Oh, yeah.
with Brandon Fraser. Pretty good.
We actually, like, it's weird right now because, like, we started watching Big Bang Theory because we had watched it years ago.
Yeah.
And we never finished it. Like, oh, I don't really remember what happened. Do you? She goes, no, I don't really remember. I don't remember. We stopped watching it. So we kind of started over it. And then as we've gone more and more and more and more, I'm like, I'm not enjoying it as much as I used to.
Yeah.
But we should finish it, right? Guess we should finish it. We're just going to finish it to see how it ends and stuff. But I don't feel like we're enjoying it as much as we used to enjoy.
How many seasons does it have?
I don't know. I don't even know what we're on now.
I feel like I only watched like
7?
one season of that.
I think we're getting close to the end.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there's been some things like that too where I'm less like, I've already started. I need to finish it
12 seasons.
to get through whatever it is to see where we're at and like how it ends. But I feel like I'd rather watch a show that I'm just like, I feel like this is mediocre. I'd rather just watch that mediocre show than watch a show I really enjoy and the end is just not as good.
Sure. I get what
You
you
know,
mean.
like I've already expected mediocre from
Yeah.
the get-go. I'm just going to enjoy the highs and lows it has. I'm not expecting anything amazing. Versus a show where I'm like, man, I really like this show. Oh, it's ending? Okay, I'm going to watch the ending. And I'm like, fuck, that ending sucked. Now I have a sour taste about the whole show that I loved. I'd rather just keep that mediocre feeling the whole way.
For me, I like to read and watch like top 100, top 10, like those sort of things of like animes, TV shows,
Gotcha.
or mecha anime, and like I'll watch them and read about them, and I'll have the synopsis, and then I just have lots of spreadsheets where I just type out the names of things I'm interested in, and then whenever I'm looking for a new show, I go to the spreadsheets.
I told
Gotcha.
Melanie we need to do that. Like whenever oh man, that looks interesting. Write it down.
Yeah.
And like I have an Excel sheet of horror movies. I don't get to watch a lot of horror movies. But whenever I can get Melanie to be like, you know what? Let's watch a horror movie. And then we're coming up on that month. I have a list that I can be like, well, here we go. We're going through all these. We'll watch. It's Freddy Krueger month, you know, or whatever it is. So keeping track of everything. I have a list of Disney movies too. That's true. Because we were trying to figure out Disney and Pixar movies. I'm like, I haven't seen all these.
Sure.
I haven't seen every Disney movie.
No, I definitely haven't.
Yeah, you haven't seen Aladdin. Sad.
Sad.
I have a long time ago.
Sad.
Sad.
Well, sad.
Not the live action one, the real one.
I definitely haven't seen.
What's the next
live
question,
action.
Rick?
Bex, have you guys
Isn't
considered
the live
putting
action one
anime
the real one?
reactions back on YouTube? Or is it something you don't want to risk anymore, even if it could get more views?
It's too risky.
Too risky.
It's just we feel very confident whenever it comes to dealing with American companies. Some even reaching out and like we said, getting early access on Visions is very nice. But that same type of thing does not happen when it comes to Japanese companies. And
Even the way we do it, like Spirit Away, was a problem.
Spirit Away was a problem.
Yeah.
Like there's zero reason that we should have gotten a copyright strike, and that was during a time where we had another copyright strike. And you know what? You get 3 of those, and your channel. Luckily, our channel would take 10 days to go kaput, and we'd be able to try to fix it. But we have not just us and our families, but we have other people that we employ and contractors, and we're we just cannot risk people's livelihoods and security for that. And it sucks because for some reason, despite all the time and effort and money we put into making it as easy as possible to press one button and you're watching the reaction, we lose half our views when we do it. But what you gonna do when they come for you?
Sure. And it's a weird thing too, because like I said, heavily edit it more so to get it onto YouTube.
Yeah.
And then the same thing happens whenever you have an edited reaction or even an edited highlight. Where it says video game highlight. You're like, why the hell is this all cut up? It's like, well, this obviously says highlight, so this isn't the full game. Or this, if we didn't have it cut up and it's just an episode, it's just a whole episode.
Yeah.
I can't do that. There's a reason that this is being sold on Amazon for $1 an episode or $2 an episode, because they can't just give it out for free.
Do you think Jaws will get the remake treatment in the near future? Who would you want to direct it if so?
A remake treatment?
I don't know if it needs one. I mean, we've had big shark movies come out, but
Like the Meg.
I don't know if Jaws needs a refresh.
I didn't think Halloween needed a refresh.
True.
Yeah, it got 2.
See, the thing is that
I think that Jaws could use maybe a reboot of the sequels.
Well,
Sure.
Because those sequels aren't very good. And I feel like that's pretty much what Halloween, that's what, the other Halloween remakes didn't do very well.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what, let's bring back the director of the original. Bring Steven Spielberg back. Because he didn't do it. Did he do any of the sequels?
No.
Because he did the first Jaws. He didn't do the sequels at all. That was just wanting money, you know? Bring him back and do the real Jaws too.
Yeah.
And here's what it is. That's what they need
We
to
need Deep Blue Sea / Jaws. Like a crossover.
do. That would be kind of cool. I might actually dig that because I love both those movies. Have you guys all seen Deep Blue Sea?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
You haven't?
I have not.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Pretty good.
Good movie. Write that down, someone. Calvin hasn't
down.
seen good movies.
March
All
Dice.
We got 2 minutes. Let's get into bits and donations.
Let's do it.
Aaron, if you want to see if there's any exercises, why do this? Alicia resubscribed for 37 months. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alicia.
Al Hussein, 250 bits. It took less than 24 hours for people to start harassing the KOTOR remake director and make videos on how it's doomed. When will it end?
They started harassing them for it? Why?
Harassing for what?
For the KOTOR director and how it's going to be doomed?
Oh, yeah, because people found out that one of the writers had done stuff in the past where they don't like her opinion. So obviously she's going to change everything about one of the most classic Star Wars games and make it worse. It's just outrageous, and I'm sorry, everybody that feels this way, but stupid, clickbaity, grifter YouTubers putting people into frenzy to make views, and that's all it is. I have strong opinions.
Sure. No, it seems silly. Because, with that kind of thing, hopefully it's really good, and we have the remake, and a new generation can play it, and it's upgraded, and it's great. Worst case scenario, it is not great, and we still have the original KOTOR, you know? You have the exact same thing you have right now.
Sure.
Except you might have something better. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. You might have something better, or you have something you don't care about, and you have the same thing you have now.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. It really doesn't matter. If they do a good job, I'm so excited. If they do a bad job, I've got what I've already got. Right? If I have an apple and I love this apple, and then Rick shows up with a banana, and I try it and I don't like that banana, I still got my damn apple. You know?
Exactly.
I don't have to ridicule Rick for his banana.
Yeah.
No, I might,
do.
but
Well, I mean,
I was gonna say sometimes you do.
sure.
sometimes it's not as made as available. It's hard to get the original cut of Star Wars. You can get the newest cuts of the original trilogy.
Sure.
But if you love the old one, you got to get the VHS, the Laserdisc, and
Sure. And that's one of those things we talk about with video games too, where Ocarina of Time, how are you playing Ocarina of Time? Well, you're either getting virtual console, or you're doing it on the 3DS, or you're having to emulate it, you know? But I feel like KOTOR's in that same kind of boat right now where it's like, well, you could play it on tablets or
Sure.
computer and stuff, or you can get an old Xbox and play it on that.
Yeah.
But I agree, like, with Eric, too, about it's easy to get views and clicks when it's something people don't like, you know? When you have, like, that's why there's so much of, like, the Kathleen Kennedy destroys Star Wars. Like, oh, shit, what'd she do now? And you're clicking it. And it's like, she said they're going to make more of this.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Like, she didn't, like, and like, it just goes on a long time. It's like, more Star Wars coming. Kathleen Kennedy's in charge of it. It's like, well, that doesn't mean anything. You know?
it's
It's just for clicking and seeing whatever. And
people
it's
can have their opinions on storylines and different decisions from writers and stuff, but for these fucking armchair film philosophers to sit there and tell Kathleen Kennedy how movies should be made is ridiculous. Have you seen her roster of movies she's
She
worked
has been
on?
involved in some really good movies.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Bad news gets views. Yep, that's how it is a lot of times. All the time.
It's true. Hate and fear. Hilding, 200 bits. Weekly loving. Thank you.
Thank you, Hilding.
Thank you.
Calvin, what did you do? You have 10 squats and 10 sit-ups, and it says, Calvin, you know beeping why. Scared the crap out of me. I nearly fell out of my chair. Funny, though. And it says, Calvin, for the mysterious beeping sound.
He's probably.
Were you doing this?
He's hitting his sensor
It
button
was
on the Go
probably
XLR.
the thing I did.
Okay. I see.
I only did it like once or twice, though. People were saying like they could hear it multiple times. I thought I kept seeing you reach up and push it. I thought you were fucking with him.
I've muted a few times when
Okay.
I'm coughing and stuff, but I'm not.
We're gonna have to pry
Yeah.
his button out.
I was like, I don't know why they're like, this is for Calvin. What Calvin do?
Let's see. Ryan Whittleson, 36 months. Happy 36 months to me. Just 1 week closer to the KOTOR remake. Just wish I knew when it was coming out.
I mean, from what I understand, it's barely started, so it's going to be a long
Probably
time.
like 2023,
It's going to be a while.
Maybe.
maybe 2024. What's 2023?
they haven't-
Spider-Man is
They
2023.
haven't had much.
Well, yeah, which will come out first? That or Part 2 of Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's a tough one.
Often 10 bits. Here's some love, boys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Often 10 bits. Here's a little bit more love.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you a little bit more. Retro Cornish, subscribe for the first time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Chris Z, 23 months.
Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
G. Paul, 25 months. Been a little farty today. Might shart myself soon.
Be careful.
Don't
Good
take
luck
that.
with that.
Don't take that risk.
Don't trust the fart.
Go ahead and change into some old underwear ahead of time.
If you get some pizza, will it be a pizza farty?
Siriano,
Siri,
26 months. I can't. There's still more.
Shut them all down.
I'm sorry. Repeat their name.
Just mute Aaron.
Siriano,
No, don't
26
do-
months.
Siriano. Thank you.
Dip, 100 bits for Scream Stream and group streams. You guys should check out a game called Labyrinthine. Labyrinthine. I know this word.
Labyrinthine.
Yes. It's a scary maze puzzle game for up to 4 players to play. I looked it up on Steam. It looks really cool, actually.
Nice.
Maybe we'll have to call an audible.
Labyrinthine?
Yeah.
I'll look at it. I just got the schedule.
George Hambley, 9 months. Hey, guys. Thanks for giving me laughs and awesome reactions for another month. You guys have a positive impact on people. Love to all you. Thank you, George.
you.
Unless you piss us off. Sorry.
Phenom Taker, 51 months.
Thank you, Phenom.
Thank you,
Phenom.
Phenom.
That's a lot
Thank
of
you
months.
So much. That is quite
That's
a
a
few.
lot of spicy meatballs.
Moo, 100 bits. Sorry I'm late to the stream, guys. I was having an impromptu snooze.
Oh, I hope it was good.
Yeah. Must have
Accidental
been.
nap.
Captain Cold, 5 bits. Happy Anna Bradstreet Day, Free Queso Day, International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer, Mayflower Day, Mexican Independence Day,
No, nice.
National Cinnamon Raisin Bread Day,
Yeah.
National Collect Rocks Day,
Yeah.
National Day of Prayer and Remembrance for the victims of Hurricane Katrina,
Katrina.
National Guacamole Day.
Guacamole.
Guacamole.
Dude,
Queso
man.
and
Free
guacamole on
queso.
the same
Yeah.
day?
I was just thinking about
That's
it.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's free queso from Moe's Grill.
Southwest
That sounds
Grill.
like
Moe's Southwestern Grill. Yeah.
I don't know.
Does this kind of look like Rick?
Yeah.
Rick, I was looking at this Labyrinthine trailer on Steam, and like real quick, there was like a face that popped up, and I was like, "Was that Rick?" And it was gone. I'm like, I went back and I had to pause it, and it just has like dark hair, beard, stuff coming down. I'm like,
Someone sent me something on Twitter. It was like a podcast icon or something. Or no, it was like for soap, maybe?
soap.
Yeah, it was
like-
like a logo for soap, and it looked just like you.
Yeah.
Like your exact eyebrows.
Even had the attack eyebrows.
Yeah.
What?
That's what
Really?
someone
That's funny.
The attack eyebrows.
Captain Cold apparently couldn't fit it all because another 5 bits saying National Stay Away from Seattle Day,
Yeah.
National Tattoo Story Day, Step Family Day, Teenager Workout Day. There you go, Aaron.
Teenager workout day.
Trail of Tears Commemoration Day, Working Parents Day, World Play-Doh Day, Wrinkled Raincoat Day, Yom Kippur, Happy 29th birthday to Nick Jonas.
Damn.
Happy birthday.
I feel like
Nick.
between the queso, guacamole, and Play-Doh, you could have a terrible accident. Eat the wrong thing.
Don't you
Moving on.
put the guacamole in the queso on the
moving
Play-Doh?
on.
Mo
Yeah.
360 subscribed for the first time.
Thank you, Schmo.
Magic Head Psycho resubscribed for 9 months.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moo gifted a sub.
Mm-hmm.
Viridian 7 resubscribed for 12 months. Woohoo!
Let me get exercise.
Thank you.
I got exercise.
Aaron,
now.
that comment was so stupid. I had to restart my brain.
Yizzing 18 months. I've now got Blind Wave Irish twins.
Irish
If you could have a if you could have a biopic of any historical figure, who would it be? Oh, I know who.
The guy that threw a bunch of tires in a dormant volcano to prank a whole village and lit them on fire, and they all thought they were gonna die.
Yeah, he got
That's what you picked
Yeah, that's
for a,
funny.
what is it for a biopic?
A biopic.
he got arrested for inciting panic.
That guy.
I don't
I'd
have
watch
anything
that.
better. I guess I want to see that one too. I guess suppose I don't know.
I mean, anybody famous enough that I would want to know more about them
But
already probably has a biopic.
yeah. See, I'd want that biopic of that guy, but I would want it to be played by Norm Macdonald, and that can't happen anymore. So I don't want it.
Just Norm Macdonald throwing
Yep.
tires into a
Yeah.
dormant volcano.
Yep.
You know, the twist of that is that he activates it somehow by doing so.
He like melts the stone under the
Oh,
tires
what
and it
have I
breaks
done?
through.
Something happens, the rubber's dripping down with fire, it ignites something, and somehow it reawakens it. I don't know. That's the twist.
Like that's what wakes
That's the
up
M. Night
Godzilla.
Shyamalan twist at the end.
Sure.
It was humans all along.
I'll come back to mine in a second. Sam the Gamer, 12 months.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you for the year.
Kamai, 9 months.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
baby.
And Fitz, 7 months. You said there were exercises?
Yeah. It says
have some.
Sit-ups from Superdoor, Calvin for the mysterious beeping sound. Squats, Becky, Calvin, you know beeping why. Scared the crap out of me. I nearly fell out of my chair. Funny though. Push-ups from Cash for Rick, unrelated to the beeps. Get those gains. Glad to hear your workouts are going well. Squats, Becky, Aaron, boo to that joke. Joke. Sit-ups, Pikachu for Aaron for the pun.
Aaron, it was
Now, those
a
both
joke.
those both came in, I think, for my first one. So I'm hoping people like the second one better, or we better hurry up before the timer runs out and they can do more.
My biopic would be Sir Sidney Smith. He was against Napoleon.
Oh man, I did legs last night.
Room for push-ups.
I did nothing last night.
You have push-ups, Rick.
I know. I don't know if people can even see me.
I had push-ups and sit-ups.
Yep.
For all you blind wave bingo
Yep.
players, I am not exercising. One of the spots in blind wave bingo is Eric doesn't exercise, others do.
Where do you have these? Where's this card at, Eric?
I don't know.
I feel like you're just
We should
making
make
these,
one, though.
making these spots up.
Yeah, people talk about it.
Now who talking about it?
That's Super Door just now.
They just make things up.
Just make things up.
Oh my gosh. My butt hurts.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do it on your mat. That's gonna really hurt.
Oh.
There was yeah, someone did make a card a long time ago.
Edwin
yeah?
B made one,
Yeah.
I think.
Ooh.
Edwin?
Ow.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, we will be back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. for more of this type of content. So make sure you follow. Also, remember, everybody, that currently it is September, which means that you get 20% off if you want to sub to
I
your
ran over my
favorite
toe with my own chair.
creator, and maybe that favorite creator is Blindwave. But also, remember, if you are like many people and have an Amazon Prime account, you can link that to your Twitch and get a free subscription, which helps out your favorite streamers, and maybe that might be us, so please consider.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
He like ran up on my toe.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. From the front.
Calvin, I bet that hurt.
It did. It really hurt.